Finally ask that all of you parents tonight to join me in a moment of silence to recognize and remember all of our military men and women who have been the ultimate sacrifice and perished while fighting for this great nation.
A pleasant good evening and welcome to Gateway High School in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Adam Gusky and Fred Guy on the call for you for this WPIAL 5A 2016 season lid lifter. Woodland Hills last year 11-1. Champions out of the Quad A Southeastern Conference. They ultimately fell to Pittsburgh Central Catholic, the winner of both the WPIAL and state championship a year ago in the WPIAL semifinals. Meanwhile, Gateway, they were 5-4 a year ago out of AAA Greater Allegheny Conference. They did not qualify for the playoffs. The last time these two teams met was back in 2012. A 17-14 victory for Woodland Hills at Norwin High School as the Wolverines were en route to their 10th trip to the WPIAL finals before ultimately falling to the North Allegheny Tigers.
It was a very, from what I recall, it was a very exciting game against the Gators. They had a really talented quarterback, and his name is really slipping my mind. Ended up going to Arizona before heading to Akron, I believe he's at right now.
Correct.
I wish I could remember his name, but he was a talented player with a very live arm and a dual threat because he was able to run at any given moment and put some points on the board for the Gators.
A new wrinkle for us here in the booth, so couple of growing pains, but we're able to get the broadcast for you live on Facebook as well as on the MSA Sports Network and on YouTube. And, of course, we'll have the replays on all of our television affiliates starting on Friday evening and all throughout the weekend. Woodland Hills will receive to begin this football game. Their sideline is across the field. They wear the all-white uniforms, while along the near sideline are the Gateway Gators. They wear the all-black uniforms, black jerseys, black pants, gold numerals with the black helmets, Gators in cursive on both sides. Woodland Hills, of course, with their turquoise helmets, the black ears and stripes emblazoned upon those lids for the past 30 years, as this is the 30th season of Woodland Hills High School football. Set to get this one started between the Gateway Gators and the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Thank you for joining us no matter where you are across the globe. Kicking off for Gateway, Jordan Washington, 5'9" senior. Woodland Hills with a ton to replace. If you were able to watch the pregame show on social media or on YouTube, you'll see that Woodland Hills 11 offensive players and 9 defensive players that Woodland Hills needs to replace. And we are underway in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, as this ball will take a hop to the 9-yard line where the Wolverines will return it. Coming from left to right comes Derek Caraway, tries to cut back. He'll drive his way forward up to the 25-yard line, and that's where Woodland Hills will set up shop. First down and 10, and here come 11 fresh faces for the white and turquoise.
And speaking of those two returning starters on defense, those were actually the kick returners on that last play, Saeed Holt and Derek Caraway.
7 seconds elapse in quarter number one. There's 11:53 to go here in the first frame. Starting quarterback for game number one is Michael Whitehurst. Whitehurst reserved for a couple of seasons, missed the majority of last year with a shoulder injury. Sidecar to the right-hand side of Whitehurst is Saeed Holt, and the handoff will go to the tailback. Bouncing to the near side right is the ball carrier, and that ball carrier is Jawan Hill, the 5'11 senior, and he will pick up 9 yards, bringing up a second down and very manageable one.
And that's a very nice carry for first one of the season, being able to bounce it to the outside. Got some really good blocking at the point of attack from his offensive lineman, but was able to shed at least one blocker before picking up 9 yards.
Coach Novak said in the pregame show he was just so impressed with how the offensive line was able to gel as the scrimmage rolled on last Saturday at the Wolverina. Sidecar to the left-hand side of Whitehurst as he's setting the pistol. High snap, handoff, ball carrier this time is Saeed Holt, and he will be brought down after picking up a Woody High first down, a pickup of 4, and it is first and 10 for the Wolverines. They'll actually push the ball up closer to the 39-yard line, where it'll be first and 10 for the visiting Wolverines.
And one thing I've noticed so far on the offensive line for the Woodland Hills Wolverines is number 78, Mike McAllister. Adam, if you remember last year, he did a tremendous job on defense and filling when he was filling in for Joel Shaw, making the transition over to center.
Yeah, a season ago when we or rather in the summer when I had an opportunity to talk to some of the coaches, they were encouraged by McAllister and the experience he had coming back, even though he's not a quote starter coming back on both sides of the ball. Again, the pistol for Woodland Hills. Snap a bit high, but it's corralled. Handoff going to left-hand side. Jawan Hill. He'll pick up a couple of yards, make it 3 up to the 42-yard line, where it's 2nd down and 7 for the Wolverines. And Woodland Hills goes right one time, to the left twice. And the Wolverines continue to push the ball forward, which is encouraging with 11 new starters on O.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. They're doing a great job of really manhandling the front 7 of the Gateway Gators, really pushing them around, getting positive yardage on every play so far.
Coach Novak said the linchpin for the Gateway defense has got to be their linebackers. They are speedy and athletic. Shotgun, high snap, but again the handoff will go to the second man through the hole, coming from left to right is Saeed Holt, and Holt will pick up the first down for the Wolverines inside of Gator territory. They'll mark him down at the 49, so a pickup on that play of 9 yards, and it's 1st and 10 for the Wolverines inside of Gator greenery.
And Saeed Holt is no stranger to carrying the football over the previous 2 seasons. He's done a great job in reserve roles for Woodland Hills, especially when they get up, by 10, 15, 20 points late in the game.
Again, the shotgun, sidecars to either side of Whitehurst, 2 receivers left, 1 to the near side right. Whitehurst looks left the whole way, throws left, the pass a bit high, intended for Derek Caraway, is incomplete. And the first time the Wolverines go to the air, it turns into 2nd down and 10.
And Mikey Whitehurst was really lucky that ball wasn't intercepted. Number 21 for Gateway, Amon Wilson, did a great job of reading it right off the bat and just made a direct beeline for the receiver.
Wolverines break the huddle, 2nd down and 10. The football at the Gateway 49-yard line. Whitehurst in the pistol. Wing to the right-hand side, and receivers split to either side as well. Snap high. Whitehurst has to corral it. He's going to run to the near side right. Looks to drive his way forward, and he's going to be brought down 5 yards deep in the backfield as a flag comes in from the umpire, and usually you'll see that as a hold against the offensive line.
Tackle was made by Anthony Hampton.
So Gateway appears that they will accept this penalty, a hold against the Wolverines, and that's going to push them back 10 yards from the end of the play. The end of the play was the 46-yard line, so the Wolverines are now back almost to the 36. It'll be between the 36 and 37-yard line. The line to gain for Woodland Hills is the Gateway 39-yard line, so the Wolverines have a big hole to dig out of here on 2nd down.
And clearly the rhythm of that play was thrown off by the bad snap, but Mikey Whitehurst has to be a little bit more conscious about where he's at when he's rolling out, because he was behind the line of scrimmage. If he just threw the ball across the line of scrimmage, that would have been probably just no gain. And
sidecars to either side of Whitehurst as Caraway will set to the left of the formation, and Coach Novak not happy with the way the offense aligns, so there is a stoppage on the field. We'll take a break too. It's 0-0 with 9:41 to play in quarter number 1. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills and Gateway knotted up at 0 apiece. Adam Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Lid lifter to the 2016 season as both Gateway and Woodland Hills transition to 5A. Gateway in the Big East Conference, Woodland Hills in the Allegheny 9. These two teams border each other so closely, but Woodland Hills was pushed to the Western Conference in 5A, mostly because they are the furthest west team in the eastern suburbs. Whitehurst, hard count. High snap, and the Wolverines going to run an end around. Caraway, he's going to be hemmed in the backfield. He'll step forward to the 30-yard line at best. Actually, they'll say he's down at the 29, a loss of 8 on that play, and it is 3rd and a mile for the Wolverines.
And give a lot of credit to that play to the Gateway defense. They did a great job of just sniffing it out from the word go. Just a little bit of sloppy blocking up front by the offensive line.
Speed, the best attribute that Gateway has. Woodland Hills, of course, has always been known for having fast guys in the backfield and out at the receiver spots. Sidecar to the left-hand side of Whitehurst. 3 receivers to the near side right. That sidecar shifts to the right side now, and Juwan Hill, high snap, but Whitehurst will corral it, throwing left, and it's a jump ball, and it's corralled by a Wolverine. Down there, down the far sideline goes a Woodland Hills receiver, finally brought down at the 5-yard line. Avram Abramovitz with the huge reception. He went up for the jump ball, and the basketball player turned footballer comes down with a huge play for the Wolverines.
And Abramovitz at 6'3" is going to be a mismatch for a lot of high school cornerbacks, just clearly just based off of his size.
21-45. That's a 66-yard reception for Avram Abramovitz. Abramovitz wearing number 8 this season. So first and goal for Woody High, as Coach Novak wanted to get the passing game going, and they did it there. McAllister steps over the football. Shotgun formation for Whitehurst. Sidecars to either side. Snap caught by Whitehurst. Handoff to the left-hand side. Ball carrier for Woody High that time appeared to be Derek Caraway. Say Holt, the ball carrier. Now that was Caraway set to the left. And a gain of about 2, maybe 3 for Caraway down to the 2-yard line, and it's second down and goal.
Yeah, as we mentioned earlier, Mike McAllister, first season as center, and you can tell he's a little bit nervous because those first couple of snaps were pretty much on point, but the last 2 or 3 have really been a little high.
Again, sidecars to either side. Hand off. Juwan Hill trying to bounce it left. Stiff arms, gathers himself, and he will be knocked around and brought down deep in the backfield. A loss on that play of 4 yards back to the 6-yard line, and it's third and goal from the 6 for Woody High.
Again, Gateway's doing a really good job right now of reading the offensive line of Woodland Hills and just flying right to the football.
Another timeout on the field, so we'll step away. 7:17 to play. It'll be third and goal when we return. It's the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Third and goal for the Wolverines. The ball set at the Gateway 6-yard line. Woodland Hills getting down there. Big pass play from Whitehurst to Avram Abramovitz. Set the Wolverines up at the 5. A 3-yard carry by Derek Caraway, or rather Asid Holt. Took it down to the 2-yard line, then a 4-yard loss by Juwan Hill, and we now sit at this third down and goal at the 6. Again, sidecars to either side of Whitehurst. Draw handoff. Ball carrier running right is Seed Holt. He'll lower his shoulders, drive his way to the 4-yard line, but no further. And the Wolverines have a decision to make here on fourth and goal at the 4.
Trying to see what Woodland Hills is going to do. It looks like they're going to go for it. I don't see too much of a personnel change.
Well, they did bring the kicker out onto the field, number 33, Charles Hanchett, the sophomore. Ball set closer to the right hash. Whitehurst, the holder, the long snapper, McAllister. This will be a 22-yard field goal attempt. Make it a 20-yard field goal attempt, and it will squeak inside a left upright. Good angle kick there by the sophomore Charles Hanchett. And the Wolverines are on the board. It's Woodland Hills 3 and Gateway 0 with 6:26 to play in the first frame. It's the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills on the board with a field goal of 20 yards by the sophomore Charles Hanchett. And Woodland Hills strikes first in the 2016 season. And Dusky Fred Guy on the call for you all across the Woodland Hills Football Network.
And that's certainly a momentum builder, getting some points, whether it be a touchdown, field goal, on that first drive with 11 new starters on offense.
Hanchett will kick off from the 40-yard line to the left of the midfield stripe here in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. The Gators with 2 return men set at the 5-yard line. Micah Oliver is one of them, and the other is Rashawn Ruffin. Hanchett's kick end over end will be returned by an up man around the 18-yard line, and running to the right-hand side is a Gateway Gator, finally forced out of bounds along that far boundary by Derek Caraway. Ahmad Wilson, the return man for Gateway. And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Gators. Decent field position for Gateway at their own 38.
And the Gateway Gators are led by number 18 quarterback Brady Walker, who had a great season as a sophomore last year, throwing for over 1,300 yards.
6:19 to play in the first frame. Again, Woodland Hills on top by a score of 3-0. Gateway in the huddle along the near sideline. Looks like they'll go straight from the boundary to the line of scrimmage. Woody High defense, 9 players to be replaced. Caraway and Holt, the only 2 returning starters. Offset pistol, motion man from right to left, and he will take the pitch, and that's Jaquan Brisker, and Brisker will drive his way across the 40 up towards the 42, maybe 43-yard line before being driven to the turf. A gang of Wolverines there, including Rodney Denard, who saw a good bit of action in the secondary a season ago for Woodland Hills. So a gain of 4 on that inside pitch.
Gateway appears to be going with a no-huddle offense right now.
Again, Brisker, the motion man from right to left. The snap carries over his head. It's still down on the carpet. Finally, Gateway will scoop it up, and making the play way back inside of the 30 at the 29-yard line for the Wolverines is Nazir Taylor, as the ball was picked up by Jordan Washington. Make that Dylan Urban, who scooped up the ball for Gateway, trying to make something happen to no avail.
And Saeed Holt had a clear opportunity to pick that ball up, but misplayed it, and it looked like he had visions of the end zone in his head before he could put the ball in his hands.
Draw by the Gateway QB. He's running to the right-hand side. He'll be brought down near the original line of scrimmage. A flag is down way back in the backfield near the 25-yard line. And as Brady Walker picked up about 11 there. A chunk of this is in all likelihood coming back. So they're going to mark the penalty off from the previous line of scrimmage. And it will be a loss of 5 on the penalty, and it will be third down and a very long way to go for Gateway with the ball at their own 24 and the line to gain the 48-yard line. A 24-yard line to gain here on third down. Walker in the shotgun sidecar to his left. Looks to pass, pulls the ball out of the belly of a receiver, throws across the middle, and the ball in and out of the hands of a sliding receiver, and Harvey Hicks. He sagged down into an open spot in the zone. He wouldn't have had the first down either way, but the incomplete pass brings up 4th and a mile for the Gators, and their punt unit's going to have to come on.
And you can tell the pressure that Saeed Holt put on Brady Walker. He did a great job of just basically rolling out of that tackle. And what I liked about Walker was the fact that he had the presence of mind to look downfield and had an open receiver, but just couldn't connect.
Jordan Washington on to punt for Gateway. A couple of Wolverines back, including Denard. Washington is the punt. It's blocked by Woody High. Saeed Holt got the block. It's pushed into the end zone, and the Wolverines will score a touchdown on the block punt. Covering it up is Jawan Hill, but credit the block to Saeed Holt.
And Saeed Holt just did a great job of running in there, actually anticipating the punt and making a tremendous leap to block that ball. And the ball just rolled right into the end zone where Hill was able to cover it up.
So the Wolverines on top 9-0 here. A couple of special teams plays leading to all 9 Woodland Hills points thus far, though the field goal was set up by a huge pass from Michael Whitehurst to Avram Abramovitz on to attempt the PAT. Sophomore Charles Hanchett out of the hold of Whitehurst. Good snap by McAllister, good hold, and the kick up, and that kick is good. And with 4:23 to play in frame number 1, it's Woodland Hills 10 and Gateway 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. A block punt by Saeed Holt. And it's pushed into the end zone by Avram Abramovitz and then covered up in the end zone by Jawan Hill for Woodland Hills touchdown. PAT up and in for Charles Hanchett. And the Wolverines lead the Gateway Gators 10-0 here in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Adam Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
We're seeing a lot of Saeed Holt, which we kind of expected, especially on the defensive side of the ball, with a couple of close sacks and a potentially missed fumble, but still did a great job on the special teams end of really taking a nice leap to block the ball into the end zone for the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
Hanchett's kick end over end will be caught out of the air by Gateway's Rashawn Ruffin, and Ruffin will drive his way up across the 25 before being batted around and brought down up near the 30-yard line. Tackle on the play by Nazir Taylor, and they'll say the forward progress was stopped at the 30-yard line. It'll be first down and 10 for the Gateway Gators.
It's a good job. Woodland Hills was able to gang tackle Ruffin because Ruffin looked like he had some speed, and if he breaks into the wide open space, he's probably going to take it to the house.
Again, Gateway going straight from the near boundary to the line of scrimmage. First down and 10 for the Gators, the ball at their own 30-yard line. Shotgun, sidecar to the right-hand side of Brady Walker as the sun sets directly in our faces here in Monroeville. Draw handoff, the ball carried to the right-hand side is Rashawn Ruffin, and he will be brought down a yard shy of the line of scrimmage. Bunch of white jerseys there for the loss of 1, and it's second down and 11.
Good job of Ruffin of eluding the initial pressure by Michael McAllister, number 78.
Snap again, settling over the head of the quarterback and Brady Walker, and he will be brought down well deep in the backfield. The first player there for the Wolverines again is Saeed Holt. He's headed to Toledo, and I'll tell you what, if any of the Toledo coaches are watching this game, they've got to be thrilled with the way Saeed Holt has started the 2016 season.
And we mentioned the Woodland Hills Wolverines having a new center, and it appears the Gateway Gators are coming into this season with a brand new offensive line, and I don't think they're quite gelling as fast as the Woodland Hills Wolverines offensive line has so far.
Brady Walker, the QB, sidecar to his right-hand side. Good snap this time as he will drop back. They're setting up the screen, are the Gateway Gators, and the pass teardrops into the hands of Rashawn Walker, but he can't hang on to it. A great job by Damon Thomas to retreat there and read the screen pass, Freddie.
Yeah, Walker had a couple of Wolverines in his face, but Thomas did a great job of really reading it and getting himself to the receiver, and fortunately for the Wolverines, that was a drop pass.
3:06 to play in the fourth frame as the Gators bring on the punt unit again. Let's see if Woodland Hills will send the house at the punter again this time. They will not, as this is a wobbling punt that will be returned by Woodland Hills' Derek Caraway. He retreats initially and still on his feet as a flag will come in. Apparently, at least from our vantage point, a face mask was grabbed down inside of there as Caraway was trying to pull his way away from the Gateway tackler. I'll say Caraway brought down around the 43-yard line, maybe the 44, but we will see what this penalty is.
I wouldn't be so sure if Woodland Hills was called for face mask on that play.
Yeah, there was a stiff arm by Caraway as well to the face. So I guess since Caraway was I'm going to say a block in the back against Woodland Hills, that was clearly kind of irrelevant to the play at that point when that flag came in. So the block in the back against Woody High will push them back to the 31-yard line, where the Wolverines have the long field to deal with on 1st and 10.
And the offense actually should be well rested. They really haven't had to do too much outside of that first drive so far in this first quarter.
2:53 to play in the first frame as the Wolverines break the huddle. New quarterback is in there. Daniel Jones, as the snap carries over his head. Retreating and scooping up for the Wolverines is Seed Holton. He will be brought down inside of the 20 at the 19-yard line. So the snap's an issue for both teams here in the early goings of the 2016 season.
And by my count, Adam, I think that's 2 for each team where there have been bad snaps that have gone over the quarterback's head, resulting in losses, huge losses for both teams.
12 yards and second down and 22.
Again, the quarterback, Daniel Jones. In the shotgun, sidecars to either side. Gateway shows blitz. Jones, the right-hander, looks to the left the whole way. He will throw to Abramovitz, and the ball carries out of bounds, incomplete. And that will bring up 3rd and long for Woodland Hills, the line to gain the 21-yard line. So it's 3rd and 22 for the Wolverines.
Well, it looks like both Whitehurst and Jones both have sufficient arms to get the ball out to Abramovitz, especially when he's at one-on-one press coverage, taking a cornerback right down the field. He's done a great job so far.
Brings up a 3rd down and 22 for Wolverines.
Daniel Jones in the shotgun, sidecars to either side. Handoff, Seed Holt running to the right-hand side, and they'll grab his shoulder pad and haul him down to the turf at the 26-yard line. Will the Gateway Gators a pickup on that play of 7, and the punt unit will come on for Woodland Hills.
Well, let's just hope the Wolverines can put up a formidable block against this Gateway speed. It seems like they're coming on defense. Special teams hasn't been too bad so far either.
The punter is Whitehurst. The long snapper, McAllister, as the Wolverines send 2 receivers to the near side right as Gunners. Snap low. Whitehurst runs to the right. He'll boot it away. A knuckler takes a Woodland Hills bounce inside of the 40. Continuing to roll towards the 30. Inside of the 30 down to around the 27-yard line, maybe the 28, where it's down by the long snapper, Michael McAllister. And it is 1st down and 10 for Gateway as Woodland Hills able to reverse the field with a nice punt by the QB, Mike Whitehurst.
Yeah, Woodland Hills looks like they're going back to the rugby-style punt that they did a few years ago, and it was very effective for them back then, especially when you had people that could run the ball. And Mikey Whitehurst seems to be like one of those people that actually, if he got loose, probably could pick up some yards, including a 1st down.
A humid 82 degrees here in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, as the sun sets directly in front of us across the field. Gateway with the football, trailing our Wolverines 10-0. And Woodland Hills sniffs out that play very quickly. Seed Holt came in there on the run blitz, and he just absolutely undercut the ball carrier, Dylan Urban, in the backfield, inside of the 25 of the 24. A loss of 4 brings up 2nd down and 14.
But there is a flag over by the 16-yard line.
It's a legal formation against Gateway. So the formational penalty against Gateway, Woodland Hills will accept here. Personally, Fred, on a night like tonight with how hot it is, I'd rather take a 4-yard loss in the down than the 5-yard loss and repeat first. Coach Novak goes the other way, and it is 1st and 15 for Gateway with the ball at the 23. Walker in the shotgun. They're going to run the option to the near side left. He's going to step forward where he's wrapped and brought down on the tackle for the Wolverines is Michael Lewis, the 6', 270-pound junior.
And with Gateway running a no-huddle offense, I'm surprised they're putting their quarterback in as many running situations as they have been, considering, you certainly don't want to tire him out by halftime.
2nd down and 9 for Gateway. Walker in the shotgun, sidecar to his right, 2 receivers right, 1 to the near side left. And they'll run the end around. Sliding to the near side left is Jaquan Brisker, and Woodland Hills doing a nice job. Secondary coming up in run support. And a pickup of just about 2 brings up 3rd down and 7 for Gateway. So Brisker on the end around picks up about 2 on the final play of the first quarter. We head to the second frame where Woodland Hills leads Gateway by a score of 10-0. It's the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network.
That's over the first period. At the score, Woodland Hills 10, Gateway 0.
Back at Gateway, where Woodland Hills leads the Gateway Gators by a score of 10-0, set to begin quarter number 2 here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Adam Dusky, Fred Guy on the call for you. Woodland Hills, their lone non-conference game of the season, comes after 2 weeks of camp. Usually the Wolverines have 2 scrimmages, but Coach Novak decided to go with a game to begin the season, as did Don Hall, the new head coach for the Gateway Gators.
I might have to correct you on that one. It's not their lone non-section game. They do play Penn Trafford in a couple weeks.
That is true, yes.
Which should be a very exciting game.
Yeah, Penn Trafford a season ago was in the WPIAL Finals where they lost to Pittsburgh Central Catholic. Pass to the left-hand side, incomplete. As the pass intended for Braden Kane, junior receiver for Gateway. And yeah, I did forget that Woodland Hills does step out of conference one more time to take on Penn Trafford in that matchup coming up in the middle of September, which should be a great, great football game. Not too far away for the Wolverines, as a lot of the road games in this new Allegheny 9 are pretty far from the friendly confines of the Wolverine and Turtle Creek. Gateway to punt here on 4th down and reasonably long 7 yards. A nice punt will spin its way inside of the Woodland Hills 30 and bounce down towards the 22-yard line, where it's downed by Gateway. And Woodland Hills will take over with the football deep inside of their own territory.
You know, for 2 teams that have been consistently known for offense, the special teams for both teams have really done the job. I mean, with Woodland Hills on the field goal and the block punt, starting off the first quarter, but then Gateway's done a great job on their special teams, especially in punting, of reversing the field and not giving Woodland Hills anything, a short field to go on.
It's a flag on the field around the 31-yard line. It's a sideline warning against Gateway. So one more sideline violation by the Gateway Gators will cost them 15 yards, to the chagrin of Don Hall, the new head coach at Gateway. They've had a revolving door in the head coaching position here in Monroeville for the past couple of seasons. Jones in the pistol, power pistol formation. Handoff goes to the tailback, and that ball carrier is Rodney Denard, it appeared. So Denard picking up about a yard from the 22 to the 23, and it is 2nd down and 9.
And Gateway's defense is really stepping up a lot too. Not given, with the exception of the one long pass from Whitehurst to Abramovitz, they've really had Woodland Hills, especially on these last 2 drives, pretty much held in check.
So Denard, his first positive carry of the game, he unfortunately was charged with the 12-yard loss after scooping up the bad snap in the Wolverines' previous possession. Again, the power pistol, handoff to Denard, or rather that is Seed Holt, the ball carrier this time, and he will dance his way over right tackle across the 25 up towards the 28-yard line before being brought down by a gang of black jerseys. And Holt slow to get up. That's got it's bad news for Woodland Hills, to say the least.
Yeah, he's been their leader on defense so far and special teams, and I'm assuming he's probably the leading ball carrier in this game for the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
Yeah, so far Seed Holt with about 30 yards on a handful of carries. Preseason MSA Sports WPIAL 5A Top 10. West Allegheny 1, Upper St. Clair 2. The Woodland Hills Wolverines ranked 3rd. McKeesport is 4th. Penn Trafford 5th. In 6th is the Franklin Regional Panthers. Plum Mustangs ranked 7th. North Allegheny 8th. And rounding out the top 10, Armstrong Riverhawks and the Gateway Gators. In the Post-Gazette, Woodland Hills was ranked 2nd in the WPIAL and number 5 in the state. And a lot of that has to do with pedigree more than anything, Fred Guy. You know, Woodland Hills traditionally has such a strong team that a lot of the experts figure Coach Novak will, you know, get this team going as the season gets started. Yeah, with the talent that you have on that sideline, it's kind of hard not to keep those guys. It's actually kind of hard to keep those guys out of the top 5 in any poll, whether it be local or state. Off in the distance, we can see the tops of the buildings in downtown Pittsburgh, U.S. Steel Building, as well as the BNY Mellon Center. As the sun continues to set and blind us directly in front of us here at Gateway High School. 3rd down and 5 for Woodland Hills. The ball at the 28-yard line. The quarterback is Daniel Jones. And he will hand off. Ball carrier running from right to left is Rodney Denard. And Denard will dance his way forward, picking up positive yardage up towards the 30-yard line. It looked like he was hemmed in back near the 25, but made something happen there, but it's still not enough for a first down, and it'll be 4th down and about 2 for the Wolverines as the punt unit comes on. Yeah, there was nothing going on to the left side for Denard, and he did a great job of letting the Gateway Gators defense over pursue, found a little bit of a cutback lane, and was almost able to get a first down. 10:05 as the clock rolls in the second frame. It's Woodland Hills 10 and Gateway 0. Whitehurst is the punter as the punt unit comes on 4th down and 2. High snap, but Whitehurst able to take a step and corral it. 1 step into the punt this time, and it will take a very positive Woodland Hills bounce around the 35 and carry all the way down inside of the Gateway 20. Still rolling inside of the 15, where it will be down at the 14-yard line. And again, Michael Whitehurst with a very strong punt reverses the field, giving the Gateway Gators the long field. And did a great job of keeping the football away from one of the best Gateway Gators on the field right now in number 3, Brisker. So 1st and 10 for Gateway. Again, the ball at their 13 as the ball is ultimately spotted there. And good news for Woodland Hills Wolverines fans, Saeed Holt is back on the field for this defensive series. Yeah, he was able to jump up and have a spring in his step. On a hot night like tonight, he might be in early signs of cramping too, so get a little water in him, he should be good to go. Walker, the quarterback, sidecar to his left-hand side. Bunch formation to his left as well, as he will throw to the bunch to the left-hand side, and the ball in and out of the hands of Jeremiah Joseph. He had a couple of blockers right in front of him, but he just dropped the football. He might have, for lack of a better term, and no pun intended, gator armed that one after he saw, a safety and a cornerback coming right at him. 2nd and 10. For Gateway, sidecar to the left-hand side is Rashawn Ruffin as the quarterback, Brady Walker, spun down in the backfield. Gang of Wolverines there. Leading the charge is Damian Thomas. And a loss of 3. Back to the 10-yard line, brings up 3rd down and 13. And Woodland Hills, their defensive front 7 isn't giving Walker much time to get comfortable, to get his feet set. Yeah, he's pretty much been under duress the entire game. Third and 13 for Gateway. Walker in the shotgun, sidecar to his left. Pulls the draw handoff out of the belly of the back. And he'll throw to the left-hand side, Will Walker. A nice man-to-man coverage by Derek Caraway, knocking the football away from the intended receiver, Ahmad Wilson. And that will bring the punt unit on for Gateway on 4th down and 13 at the 10. A great job of Caraway, actually kind of closing at the end of that play. It looked like the receiver had a step, maybe 2 on him, but Caraway was able to close that gap very quickly and bat that ball away. Jordan Washington, the kicker, and punter, stands in his own end zone. Woodland Hills has already blocked one punt today. They won't come after this one too aggressively, as this punt will carry to the 44-yard line, where it'll be returned by Derek Caraway. He's running across the field from left to right and has some greenery now inside of the 40, to the 30, to the 25, dancing his way inside of the 20, brought down at the 18-yard line, and a shoulder-to-shoulder block around the 32-yard line is going to draw the flag. From our vantage point, it appeared that Rodney Denard had made shoulder-to-shoulder contact, but the official must have seen it differently, and they're going to bring a majority of this one back from the 31.
And that's really a shame, because that was a great return. Like you said, from our vantage point, it looked like it was shoulder to shoulder, so I didn't see why. I was looking for the flag once that block happened, and then a second later it was on the field.
So the Wolverines will start this drive for the first time today inside of Gators territory at the 41.
And again, Caraway doing a great job of making people miss, picking up some nice blocks, but all for naught.
So Whitehurst back in the game at QB. He started the game at quarterback. This is his second series. Two receivers left, one to the far side right. Caraway, or rather the handoff from Whitehurst will go this time to Juwan Hill, who bounces it to the near side left, and he will be brought down after a nice gain inside of the 35 to the 33-yard line. I'll pick up on that play of 8.
Yeah, great vision by Juwan Hill. Seeing that there was nothing initially up the middle, decided to bounce it outside. Made one tackler miss, and then was able to pick up the corner.
4 carries for 16 yards for Juwan Hill. Seed Holt, the leading rusher for Woodland Hills, 6 carries, 30 yards.
You know, we're used to seeing a two-headed monster for Woodland Hills at running back, but it looks like they're going to go with a trio of running backs this season.
Juwan Hill set to the left of Michael Whitehurst. Whitehurst looking right. He's going to throw it out there. The pass intended for Seed. Holt is incomplete, and Holt took a bit of punishment there as he's slow to get to his feet, but the best news for Woodland Hills fans is that he didn't catch the football. The bad news is Seed Holt is down again.
Yeah, it looked like he might have taken a helmet right to the midsection as that ball got to his hands.
So Holt got to his feet, but still being tended to by athletic trainer Denny D'Amico and the physical therapist Joe Schaffo. And a injury timeout on the field. We hate to see any players shaken up, but those of the ilk of Seed Holt are even that much more devastating for Woodland Hills, who is short on returning starters.
Yeah, I mean, and especially with a talented person like Saeed Holt, who has done a lot so far in this football game, you hate to see him down, but it also gives the opportunity for younger players to step in, get some experience, and hopefully make a contribution.
Next up for Woodland Hills, a home game against the Baldwin Highlanders, the first conference game of the season for Woodland Hills, as they will get things started in the Allegheny 9. Seed Holt still down, being tended to by athletic trainer Denny D'Amico. And with 7:35 to play here in the second quarter, we're going to step away. It's the Woodland Hills Wolverines 10 and the Gateway Gators 0 on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Scholastic Sports Marketing would like to thank all of our 2016 tour sponsors: Comcast, Xfinity, Subway, and the U.S. Army.
Seed Holt to his feet as the Woodland Hills Wolverines face a third down and short here after the incomplete pass by Whitehurst. Seed Holt took a shoulder to the midsection. It's good to see him get back up after the second time he laid on the carpet for an extended period of time tonight. Whitehurst again in the shotgun. Sidecars to either side this time. double tight end formation and one receiver right. Handoff on the counter play, and the ball carrier for Woodland Hills is Jawan Hill. No, check that. That is Rodney Denard that time. And Denard's going to pick up about a yard, maybe a yard and a half, as he's brought down just outside of the 32-yard line. They'll place the ball at the 32, so a gain of 1 brings up 4th and 1, and the Wolverines don't bring the punt unit on.
Yeah, they feel confident enough in their offensive line and their running backs to go for it on 4th down. And Woodland Hills just ran what they basically ran for the last 30 years, a little counter play, trying to go up the gut, trying to push the front 7 of the Gateway Gators around.
Power pistol. Dotting the pistol is Jawan Hill. And the snap slides through the hands of Whitehurst, and he's going to have to cover it up. A very, very quick whistle. And the Wolverines are bailed out as Michael Whitehurst covered up the ball, but really did not have clear possession of it as he was down on the turf at the 44-yard line. A loss on that play of 13 yards and a turnover on downs.
I'm looking at the replay to see it wasn't a horrible snap by McAllister. I mean, it looked like it just went a little bit to Mikey Whitehurst's left side, but it wasn't over his head by any means. And I don't know if Whitehurst just took his eye off the ball, but that's something that the Woodland Hills Wolverines are definitely going to have to fix going into next week.
Yeah, looking at that TV replay, it looked like Whitehurst looked to his right before the ball was securely in his hands. So a turnover on downs gives Gateway the football at their own 44. And off going to the ball carrier coming from left to right. That ball carrier, Dylan Urban. And Urban is brought down after a 4-yard gain to the 48-yard line.
And Gateway back to their no-huddle offense, and it really hasn't been effective so far in this football game for the Gateway Gators.
Second and 6 for Gateway. As taking the handoff again is Dylan Urban, and he is met in the backfield and driven to the carpet. Deep in the backfield, John Robinson, 6'2", 257-pound defensive tackle.
And Robinson did a great job of not biting on the play fakes by Walker or the Gateway Gators, and was just able to make a nice tackle in the backfield.
Third and 9 for Gateway, the ball at their own 45. Walker snaps his hands in the shotgun, looking to the near side right, and the pass is incomplete. Pass intended for Harvey Hicks. On the coverage for Woody High is Michael Coleman. Gateway 0 for 5 in the air today.
Coleman listed at a 5'11", 162 sophomore. So some of the younger guys are definitely getting some quality playing time.
So 4th down and 9 for Gateway as the punt unit will come on. 2 Wolverines go back deep to return, and Rodney Denard, Derek Caraway. Snap high but corralled by Washington. And he shanks this one, and it will actually be a punt of negative yards as it took a bounce near the line of scrimmage and then bounced backwards towards the 42-yard line. So a loss of 3 on the punt, and it's Woodland Hills football.
And I think Paige Jones, number 4 for Woodland Hills, is really second-guessing himself because he really wanted to pick up that football, and he had a clear lane to the end zone, but I think he thought better of it once it started to rattle around on the turf and just let it fall.
So the sun finally dipping towards the horizon, giving us a better view of this football game for the next 5:19 of the second quarter and the final 24 minutes as Whitehurst remains in the game at QB. He'll look to the right, and the pass intended for Abramovitz is incomplete. A flag comes in as there may be interference against Gateway.
And that's definitely an interesting penalty from the official that threw the flag.
Flag on the play.
defensive holding is the call by the referee.
That seemed to be the right call. Some sort of illegal contact seemed to be very valid there, Fred, but certainly pass interference didn't seem to be the right call.
Yeah, no, it's considering the ball was clearly thrown out of bounds, and I didn't think the receiver had a chance at catching the football.
Handoff goes to Jawan Hill as he will step inside of the 30, brought down at the 29-yard line on the tackle. Harvey Hicks for Gateway.
And I think that might be a misprint on Harvey Hicks' stats. It has him listed at 6'8", 185. I'm going to probably go with 5'8", 185, but just did a great job of coming right down the line of scrimmage and making a secure tackle.
Pickup of 3 for Jawan Hill as he is slow to get to his feet. And Danny D'Amico, the athletic trainer for Woodland Hills, massaging a calf, as you absolutely would expect on an 80-plus degree night with serious humidity.
Yeah, as a former Wolverine, certainly the last thing I'm thinking about while I'm in the midst of the game and thinking about what's going on is getting water. And it sounds kind of stupid not to do that, but players tend to get caught up in the heat of the moment and forget to do things like that.
Follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/WHFootballNet. Coverage of the Wolverines all season long. Again, next up for Woodland Hills, a game in the Allegheny 9. Baldwin Highlanders come to the Wolverine. We'll be back in Turtle Creek for the first time since last year's WPIAL first round matchup against the Hempfield Spartans. What a beautiful sunset there is here at Gateway High School as the sun dips towards the horizon far to our west as the days of summer are running short. Woodland Hills, their first day of high school was today. Gateway School District starts school on Monday, so not much school for either of these teams as we get underway in the season. Pass to the near side left, bobbled, and they're going to say caught and then fumbled by Saeed Holt. And I'm not sure he ever had clear possession of that football, but if that is the case, it's recovered by the Gateway Gators. As the officials will talk this over, there's also a flag down on the field. And the flag is against Woodland Hills. Gateway will decline the penalty, and it will be 1st and 10 for Gateway as Saeed Holt commits the first turnover of the season for Woodland Hills.
Yeah, again, Adam, I don't think he had complete possession of the football before it came loose, but we don't get to make that decision up here. It's made out on the field.
So a completed pass from Whitehurst to Holt. Loss ultimately on that play of about 4 yards. And Holt, his first reception of the season, is a loss of 4 and a fumble lost.
First and 10 Gators from their own 33.
And now quarterback Brady Walker pressured, hit as he releases the football, and the pass is intercepted by the Wolverines. Running from right to left with the football in his hands is Michael Coleman, and Coleman still on his feet, inside of the 30, inside of the 20, cutting it back, still on his feet, inside the 10, dancing to the right-hand side where he will be brought down at the 11-yard line. There was a flag dropped way back here near the 30-yard line. Now, I think the official may have picked that up. He may have inadvertently thrown the flag instead of the beanbag. So the pick by Michael Coleman after the nice coverage in the secondary by the Wolverines, forcing the deflected ball.
Yeah, as Walker was trying to roll out, he thought he saw an open Gateway Gator, but I mean, he's clearly covered up. Did a good tip drill into Coleman's hands, and Coleman did a great job of really finding some open field before he was brought down just at the 12-yard line.
So a beautiful return there by Coleman, covering about 57 yards. And it's 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills inside of the Gators. Red zone. Seed Holt, the ball carrier, driving his way inside of the 5. He'll be brought down at the 4-yard line. Make it the 3. A pickup on that play of 9. And it's 2nd down and 1 for Woodland Hills.
Saeed Holt just doing a great job of using his toughness to bust through the line of scrimmage, picking up a very nice gain on 1st down.
So this shortened drive for Woodland Hills starts at the 12-yard line of the Gateway Gators after a huge interception return by Michael Coleman, and that's now 2nd and 1 as Whitehurst sends a man motioning out of the backfield, and a timeout is taken by the Woodland Hills Wolverines, and we will step away 10-0 Woodland Hills, but the Wolverines threaten with 3:41 to play in the 2nd quarter. You're tuned in to the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Second and 1 for Woodland Hills. The football at the Gateway 3-yard line. Whitehurst in the shotgun, sidecars to either side. Hard count by Whitehurst. He'll hand off. Seed Holt bouncing it right, cutting it back to the left-hand side, and he will cross the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown. The first offensive score of the game comes with 3:36 to play in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, Saeed Holt just took the ball from his left sidecar position, came across the front of Mikey Whitehurst, found the smallest seam that you could possibly ask for, put his head down, and got himself across the goal line for the touchdown.
42 yards and a touchdown thus far for Seed Holt on the ground. And on to attempt the PAT is Charles Hanchett for Woody High. Out of hold of Michael Whitehurst, and the long snap by Michael McAllister. Good snap, good hold, and that kick up and good. 3:36 to play in quarter number 2. It's Woodland Hills 17, Gateway 0. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. $17-0. Woodland Hills on top of the Gateway Gators. Adam Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you with Seed Holt. Scores the first offensive touchdown of the season for Woodland Hills. And tell you what, Fred, Seed Holt has made his presence felt today. Mostly on special teams and a good bit on offense as well.
Yeah, well, you really can't discredit what he's done on defense either, because he's done pretty much everything Coach Novak has asked him to do. Put pressure on the quarterback, sniff out the runs on his blitzes. Overall, he's just playing a sensational game right now.
Hanchett kicking off. Low and over end kick, bounces into the return man's hand at the 14-yard line. Running from left to right is Dylan Urban, and Urban finds a crease, and he is now off to the races, finally being spun down inside of Woody High territory. They'll say he's down at the 48-yard line. A huge return there for Dylan Urban.
Hey, didn't really do anything fancy. Woodland Hills really, I'm not exactly sure what they were looking at when that ball was kicked to their right side, but Urban just did a great job of picking up the ball, coming to his right side, and just marching right down the field.
So Gateway has the ball, 1st down and 10 at the Woodland Hills 38-yard line with 3:26 to play in the 2nd quarter. Last offensive play for Gateway was an interception thrown by Brady Walker. The pick by Michael Coleman, and he returned it from the 31 all the way down to the Gateway 13. So Walker, power pistol with a sidecar to his right. Handoff will go to Rashawn Ruffin, and Ruffin slides his way forward as he will drive his way inside of the 30, finally brought down at the 26-yard line. And a pickup on that play of about 11 will bring up a 1st and 10 for the Gateway Gators.
And Ruffin just did a great job of really making people miss. Everyone was trying to strip the ball away from him, but he wasn't trying to give it up. And in the course of that, he picked up about 5 more yards.
Ruffin again, the ball carrier. Grabbing the jersey for the Wolverines is Quintel Palmer. The ball squirted loose. The Gators tried to scoop it up as Brady Walker had his hands on it. It was forced out of bounds along the near boundary at around the 21-22 yard line. So that fumble ultimately led to a pretty positive gain for the Gateway Gators.
Just trying to see who. Looked like Quintel Palmer, number 7, had a good hold of the jersey. And I don't know if that led to the forced fumble.
Yeah, it looked like Rodney Denard came in there, put the helmet on the football to force it loose before the ball went out of bounds. Now it's 2nd down and 5 after that 5-yard gain. And the pass to the near side right is incomplete. Harvey Hicks, the intended receiver. On the coverage for Woodland Hills, Jawan Hill.
I thought Hill did a great job of really reading that pass from Walker and just stepping in and batting the ball away. And Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Walker has completed a pass so far in this ball game.
My stats, of course, unofficial, but 0 for 6 thus far is Brady Walker, the Gators QB.
Well, he completed 1. It just happened to be to the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
Walker, 2nd year as a starter, as a junior here for Gateway. A look to the near side right, and a little hitch and go, and Harvey Hicks was late coming out of his break, forcing the incompleted pass, and that will bring up 4th down and about 5.
And the Gateway Gators do have an accomplished kicker in number 22, Washington. He's had a great season last year, but they're deciding to keep him on the sideline right now.
4th and 5 for the Gators, the ball at the Woody High 22-yard line. Walker looks to the near sideline with 2 receivers to his left and 1 to the near side right. Sidecar to his right-hand side, Dylan Urban. Option to the near side right. Walker, he's got the 1st down and more as he will step out of bounds finally inside of the 10 at around the 9-yard line. And a nice job on the option there, faking the pitch by Walker and forcing a 1st and goal for the Gateway Gators.
Yeah, I think that's something that Woodland Hills hasn't seen too much in game film from Gateway, is running the option. But Gateway did a great job of running it to perfection and picking up a 1st down.
13-yard pickup there for the Gators QB. Now in positive territory rushing as the end around for the Gators. It's Brisker running from right to left, and he will cross the goal line for a Gateway touchdown. And the Gators answer the Wolverines after a very nice kickoff return by Dylan Urban. Sets the Gators up deep inside of Woody High territory. Jaquan Brisker hits the exclamation point.
Maybe that's something that the Gateway Gators probably can exploit, is the fact that it doesn't seem like Woodland Hills really in those last 2 plays were able to catch anything in terms of tackles on the outsides.
And Gateway going to run a muddle huddle, try to go for 2. They complete the pass, and catching that pass is Harvey Hicks. It looked like he was brought down shy of the goal line by Michael McAllister, but they'll say that Harvey Hicks was able to get the ball across the plane to the goal line for the 2-pointer. And all of a sudden, Woodland Hills, their lead has gone from 17 points down to 9 very, very quickly. We'll step away. It's the Wolverines and the Gators here on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Woodland Hills leading Gateway 17-8 as the Gateway Gators take advantage of a very nice kickoff return by Dylan Urban, and then Jaquan Brisker ends up punching it in. And then the 2-point conversion pass complete from the holder, Ethan Frenchick, to Harvey Hicks, who was able to get the ball across the goal line just before hitting the turf. And the kickoff by Washington carries down inside of the 5 and will roll out of bounds. Very smart by Derek Caraway to let it go. And the procedural penalty will set Woodland Hills up in very good field position out near the 35-yard line.
Yeah, ill-advised kick by Washington. Your team has a lot of momentum going into that kickoff. That's the last thing you really want to do to try to take anything away from it.
Woodland Hills will start from their own 35-yard line.
So 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills, the ball at their own 35. 2:46 to play here in the second quarter. Back in at quarterback, Daniel Jones for Woodland Hills. And he will hand off the ball carrier, Jawan Hill, and he is off to the races inside of Gators territory. Finally spun down at around the 42, maybe the 41-yard line. Either way, a big pickup and a first down for Woody High.
Great job by the offensive line of really just beating up the Gateway Gators front seven. And also with Jawan Hill, the vision that he had on that last play, he just saw a nice little seam, exploited it, and picked up good yardage on first down.
23-yard pickup, and Jawan Hill now above 30 yards on the ground. He has 32. On a half a dozen carries. The artificial surface here at Gateway High School. Daniel Jones in the shotgun, sidecar to his right, 2 receivers to either side. Motion man from left to right is Anthony Perkins. And a flag will fly in, a delay of game against the Wolverines. So that'll back Woody High up 5 yards to the 47.
Yeah, with Woodland Hills not having any timeouts left, they had no choice but to take the penalty on that play.
Jones in the shotgun, motion man, Caraway from left to right. The handoff will go away from the motion as the ball carrier, Jawan Hill, is banged around and brought down. The Gators stiffing that one out very well. Loss on that play of 3 yards brings up 2nd down and about 18.
Yeah, the front 5 or 6 for Gateway really didn't fall for any of the play fakes by the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Did a great job of gang tackling in the backfield.
Ball at the midfield stripes, 2nd down and 18 for Woodland Hills. Line to gain the 32-yard line. Daniel Jones, the QB, sidecar to his right-hand side, Jawan Hill. And now set to the left as there's trips to the right of the formation. Jones, he's going to step forward. He's going to be brought down half a yard shy of the line of scrimmage. And there's a Wolverine down across the field near the 40-yard line. And that's a Sheed Page Jones, who's slow to get up. It's Daniel Jones with his first carry of the football game. No gain, no loss. And it's 3rd and 18 as Page Jones. It seems like he's got some calf cramps as well.
Yeah, and that's really going to be the biggest thing that you're going to focus on halftime is getting rehydrated and getting back for the second half.
You know, Fred, as things have gone on at Woodland Hills, the Wolverines have gone from having, basically 22 starters in our day to almost everybody going both ways, and that has certainly changed things for this Woodland Hills team. They need to hydrate a lot more going both ways. They need to get as much rest, get off their feet more often, and that's something that these kids aren't accustomed to doing.
Yeah, and when you're dealing with a roster change from 30, losing 32 seniors, you're getting a lot of new guys who adrenaline is they're taking over. And then again, when you have that adrenaline pumping, sometimes you don't make the best decisions, and rehydrating when you're on the sidelines, if you get a chance to get to the sidelines, is always important.
Rashid Page Jones able to get back to his feet and off to the far sideline. The Wolverines still facing this 3rd down and long, 3rd and 18 from the midfield stripe. I don't know about you, Fred, but that was one of the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen, not just because of the beauty, but because the sun is no longer blaring in our eyes.
I think both of us are going to have a case of sunburn come tomorrow. It's going to really hurt because it was really blasting us in the face.
Daniel Jones, QB, trips to the right. Woodland Hills a little bit of movement, but no flags fly as Jones will throw to his right-hand side. Receiver open along that far boundary is Derek Caraway, but the pass goes out of bounds, incomplete. And that will bring up 4th down and 18 as Jones has yet to complete a pass today. Michael Whitehurst 2 for 4 for 62 yards.
And I really like the fact that Woodland Hills is taking some chances down the field. When you had such talented running backs as you have in the past, you really don't have to. Now when you're using a trio of running backs, you got to try to open up the field a little bit more.
1:06 to play in the first half. Michael Whitehurst on to punt it away on 4th and 18 for the Wolverines. One return man back deep, Jaquan Brisker, who scored the lone touchdown for the Gators. Woodland Hills going to run a fake. It's Seed Holt driving his way forward, and he will be brought down well shy of the 1st down flag. The line to gain was the 32. Seed Holt is brought down at the 40-yard line, so it's a 10-yard gain for Holt, but still a turnover on downs.
And it was an interesting play, interesting call. During the course of this game, you're trying to put some more points on the board before halftime, so you have to take a chance anywhere you can, and Woodland Hills did a great job. Unfortunately, they came up short, but, man, I was kind of surprised to see Saeed Holt burst through the line with the speed that he had, considering he's been banged up a little bit in this ballgame.
So we talked about Woodland Hills at home next week. Conference game against the Baldwin Highlanders. They hit the road 2 weeks from tonight as they will travel to Fox Chapel to take on the Foxes for the first time in a while. We are familiar with Fox Chapel, though, as that was the host location for last year's WPIAL semifinals against Central Catholic. Woodland Hills bring in the house, and they will bat the ball back. Seed Holt was the first man there. He batted the football and put tons and tons of pressure on Brady Walker. He and a couple other teammates as well.
Yeah, Brady Walker really hasn't had a lot of time back there because he's been under immense pressure from either the defensive line or Saeed Holt because, he's just been they've been sending him pretty much on every drop back pass that they think the Gateway Gators are going to run, and he's just done a great job with it.
Second down and 10 for Gateway. And again, to the air goes Walker, and he will complete his first pass of the football game. Jaquan Brisker on the reception, and Brisker has absolutely been a Wolverine killer here in the second quarter as he will finally be brought down inside of the 30 at the 27-yard line.
And the one thing I don't like that I've seen from the Woodland Hills in terms of defense is they're too busy trying to strip the ball away from the receiver instead of making secure tackles.
33-yard reception for Brisker on the first completed pass of the game for Brady Walker. Walker sets in the shotgun. Sidecar to his left as he'll throw to the left-hand side. The pass is complete to the running back. No, they're going to say that he caught the ball, fumbled it, and it's scooped up. Seed Holt's going to go to the house. Nobody's going to catch him as he's inside of the 20, 15, 10, 5. End zone touchdown, Woodland Hills, as the fumble by Dylan Urban costs Gateway great field position and leads to a Woody High TD.
Yeah, and Saeed Holt has been involved in all 3 Woodland Hills touchdowns so far. One on special teams, one on offense, and now one on defense.
Huge scoop and score there for Saeed Holt as he scooped that ball up back inside of the 30 and returned it about 73 yards for the Woodland Hills touchdown.
And just when you thought Gateway was starting to get some more momentum in this ball game, it really turned around very fast.
Charles Hanchett on to kick this one away. Whitehurst able to get a awkward snap down and the kick up and good. And with 19 seconds to play in the second quarter, Woodland Hills extends its lead to 24-8. It's the Wolverines and the Gators right here on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Adam Gusky and Fred Guy in Monroeville, Pennsylvania, as the Woodland Hills Wolverines have extended their lead to 24-8. On a scoop and score, covering about 73 yards by Saeed Holt. And Fred, as you said before the break, all three Woodland Hills touchdowns today have had huge contributions by Saeed Holt. He scored 2 of them, and the first one of the day was a blocked punt by Saeed Holt, and it was covered up in the end zone by Woodland Hills' Jawan Hill. Enschitz kick and over end. Bounces towards the return man, who will scoop it up at the 11-yard line. It's Dylan Urban again. Dangerous return man for the Gateway Gators into open field. Sidestepping Wolverines, breaking tackles, and this time he will finally be brought down after a gang of Wolverines were having an opportunity in arm tackles. Finally, the tackle is made by Amir Collins. At the 40-yard line, will be first down and 10 for Gateway with 7 seconds to play in the second quarter.
Yeah, the one thing I've noticed about this kickoff team is they're not as fast as teams that we've seen in the past. I mean, teams from years past, those guys would get down there at least to the 25-yard line just as the ball carrier was getting to the ball. Now it just seems like they're taking their time. I'm not sure if they're tired or just the lack of speed on this special teams unit, but it could hurt them later on in the year.
Gateway looks like they're going to take a knee, head into the locker room with a 16-point deficit, and that will be the case. And that will be the final play of the second quarter. It's Woodland Hills 24 and the Gateway Gators 8. Fred, overall, you've got to say a very good first half for Woody High.
Yeah, it was. I mean, with the exception of the Gateway scoring drive, which I believe they picked up a first down on 4th down. They've done a great job on all facets of the game. So the offense is kind of still finding its way, but you know they've been able to put some points on the board. But overall, it's been a pretty interesting first half.
Well, Saeed Holt has really shown brightly today. Defensively, he does what he always does, but I've really been impressed with him offensively and on special teams.
Yeah, and he's actually taking his time as a ball carrier. He's not trying to force things. He's just letting things happen and making plays when he needs to.
Let's talk a bit more about those special teams. You alluded to the fact that Woodland Hills was slow getting down the field on kick coverage, but other than that, Woodland Hills has done some good things. A block punt, a field goal, 2 for 2 on PATs. So things are looking pretty good in the kicking game.
Actually, 3 for 3 on PATs. Right. Yeah, they have. The kicking game has definitely been, a strength so far in this game. But the pressure that they're bringing on the punt team has been immense. I mean, that block punt by Saeed Holt, where he jumped, it looked like he jumped 10 feet in the air just to bat that ball, was fantastic.
Anna Marino Stadium, the home of the lid lifter of the 2016 season. Folks on the TV side, when we return, it will be the second half. And folks on the radio side, stay tuned for the Woodland Hills Football Network halftime show. Again, your halftime score, Woodland Hills 24, Gateway 8. Adam Gusky and Fred Guy all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. And we welcome you back to Gateway High School in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Anna Marino Stadium is the home of the Gateway Gators, and that's where Woodland Hills leads Gateway 24-8 as we're getting set to begin the second half. Just up the road from the Wolverine in Monroeville. And Fred, we talked about it during the MSA sports portion of our halftime show. Woodland Hills fans and the Woodland Hills team have got to be happy in general with the first 24 minutes of action.
Yeah, when you replace as much as you have from the 2015 team, you don't really know what to expect. I mean, these guys have done a great job between the lifting phase over the winter, the preseason conditioning camp itself, and now they're coming out and they're putting together a great performance and hopefully getting some recognition, some names to the faces of this new group.
And, Fred, as we look back to last season, certainly, the fact that there were 21 starters to replace, or maybe 20 starters to replace, is significant. However, on the same token, there are so many familiar names on this team because Woodland Hills was so successful over the past couple of seasons, a lot of these guys that are stepping up to starting roles saw a lot of varsity action.
Yeah, certainly. When you have Derek Caraway, who I believe was a starter, Saeed Hull was a starter, Rodney Denard, who played a lot of minutes in reserve roles, these guys are really doing it tonight for the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
You know, let's get back to Saeed Holt for a minute. 3 seasons ago as a sophomore, he really came onto the scene as a special teamer. Last year really made his presence known both defensively and on special teams. And he's added a new wrinkle here tonight at Gateway, showing offensive prowess.
Yeah, he's done a great job. As I mentioned before, he's a very patient ball runner. He's not trying to overdo things, trying to make things happen that aren't there. He's just taking the play as it comes and exploiting the holes and getting some yardage.
Fred, what do you expect from the Wolverines here in the second half?
I expect pretty much the same. In terms of defense, they did a great job of putting pressure on Brady Walker with only 2 completions in a half after throwing for 1,300 yards last year. Again, they need to bottle up Brisker, who's done a great job in the first half, especially late in the first half, of making some nice plays and putting Gateway in some prime positions to score some points.
Gateway will get the football to begin the second half. The Gators have had some success on kickoff returns, a pair of big kickoff returns by Dylan Urban. One set up a Gateway touchdown on the next drive. The Gators were matriculating the ball down the field pretty well after a nice Urban return, but Urban ended up being kind of the GOAT in that particular drive as he caught a football from the QB, Brady Walker, and then fumbled it after about a 3-yard gain, and the scoop and score by Saeed Holt gave Woodland Hills their 3rd touchdown in the football game.
Yeah, he really Saeed Holt really has been Johnny on the spot, because earlier in the ball game there was a fumble, I believe, by Walker, and Saeed Holt was in a prime position to pick it up, scoop and score again, but the ball squirted out of his hands and actually went back to Gateway.
Again, next week, Woodland Hills takes on the Baldwin Highlanders, but we have 24 minutes of action in this non-conference matchup between old rivals going back 30 years between Woodland Hills and Gateway, back to the first season of the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Again, next week, Baldwin, then the Wolverines hit the road to take on Fox Chapel before traveling to Penn Trafford on September 16th. It'll be a road non-conference game, then it's all Allegheny 9 games after that. Against Char Valley and Hampton at the Wolverina, at North Hills and at Moon. And then they'll finish off the season with a couple of home games against West Allegheny and Upper St. Clair before the playoffs start the first Friday in November.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the West Allegheny game and the Upper St. Clair game are back at the Wolverina, considering they were there last year as well.
And I am too, but I guess with the WPIAL pressing the reset button, with the state going to 6 classifications, and the WPIAL needing to reclassify all of the teams, they said, well, let's give Woodland Hills the home games to finish up the year, especially considering they have to go to a couple of new teams that are moving up from AAA to 5A. We're back underway here in Monroeville as a lobbing kick will be caught at the 25-yard line. The return man is Elijah McDonald for Gateway, and again he's off to the races. McDonald brought down inside of the Wolverines' 49 to the 48-yard line. Will be first down and 10 for Gateway. And Fred, if there's one concern headed into week number 2, it's got to be the kick return game.
And it wasn't as if the Gateway Gators had some sort of tricky blocking scheme going on. Number 11, McDonald just basically took the ball from the left side to the right side and found the seam and was able to get it up over the midfield stripe.
3 nice returns thus far today for the Gateway Gators. Woodland Hills with a 3-man defensive front. Gateway with a shotgun formation and sidecar to the left-hand side of the QB Walker. Walker looking right the whole way. The pass complete to Harvey Hicks, and Hicks off to the races down the near sideline, and he's still on his feet. Finally forced out of bounds along the near boundary inside of the 25 at around the 22-yard line.
And Hicks did a great job of just staying on the hips of the 2 blockers that he had. Number 62 and number 55 were downfield and paving the way for Hicks. He just did a great job of staying behind him and not trying to force the issue, and picked up a great yardage on first down.
26-yard pickup there. First and 10 for Gateway with the football at the Woodland Hills 22. Shotgun again. Ball carrier this time is Rashawn Ruffin, and Ruffin is met at the line of scrimmage. He'll drive his way forward, maybe a gain of 1 down to the 22.
And Woodland Hills doing what they do best, is really stopping the run. Last year they did a tremendous job of really holding opponents' ball carriers to well under their normal season average. And again, Woodland Hills is doing a great job again so far this season.
Walker, shotgun, looking left the whole way. The pass is complete to Brisker, and Brisker is going to dive his way forward down at the 21-yard line. A pickup of 2 brings up 3rd down and 8. And Brisker is slow to get to his feet for the Gateway Gators.
And really fortunate for Woodland Hills that somebody caught a shoelace or the ankle of Brisker, because Brisker had wide open field. Had he maintained his footing, it probably would have been in the end zone with his speed.
Brisker with 1 touchdown thus far today on a 9-yard TD run. He also has a 33-yard reception to go along with that 1-yard catch. And Brisker being tended to, and hopefully just a cramping situation. We saw several Woodland Hills with cramps in half number 1 as Joe Schaffo, the Woodland Hills physical therapist, was the first medical personnel out there on the field to look at Brisker, and then Gateway will take over. Brisker up on his feet, come to the sidelines, get a few electrolytes in him, and hopefully can return to action for Gateway. But right now the Gators have a big obstacle to overcome on 3rd down, about 9 with the football just inside of the Woodland Hills 22.
You know, as this game progresses, the busiest people on each sideline have to be the water boys. Make sure they're refilling those water bottles, getting it out to the guys out on the field, and getting those guys hydrated.
Walker brings the team straight from the sideline to the line of scrimmage. Sidecars to either side of Walker. 2 receivers right, 1 to the far boundary left. Snap a little high, but it's corralled, and Walker's going to run the option to the left. The ball's loose on the carpet seat. Holt's going to scoop it up yet again. Now he lost the football, but he will cover it up down at the 24-yard line. So a fumble on the pitch intended for Courtney Jackson leads to Woodland Hills with the football at the Gateway 24.
And right now is not the time for Gateway to be careless. They're building momentum going into the second half with a good kick return, a decent drive, and now they shoot themselves in the foot with this fumble.
So the bad pitch on the option by Walker gives Woodland Hills the football again at the Gateway 24. And again, Holt making his presence known.
He just seems to be Johnny on the spot in this ball game so far.
10:21 to play in the 3rd frame. Woodland Hills with ball 1st down and 10 at their own 24-yard line. Handoff goes to seed Holt, and he's got nowhere to go as a couple of black jerseys meet him in the backfield. Leading the way, Elijah McDonald for Gateway.
And Gateway did a great job of just really reading it. Both their linebackers saw the run and immediately filled some gaps, and which freed up the defensive line and linebackers to make a nice tackle.
A loss of 1 on that play for seed Holt, who has 10 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown. Also has 1 reception for -4 yards and a fumble lost. 2 receivers to either side as Whitehurst is the quarterback to start the second half. He will hand off to the sidecar. The ball came loose, and I think Gateway fell on top of it. A fumble in the backfield by Jawan Hill, and there's a massive humanity. And Gateway will come out of the bottom of the pile with the football, as it is Anthony Hampton with the fumble recovery. So Gateway coughs it up. The Wolverines give it back.
Just trying to see who the ball carrier was.
It was Jawan Hill.
Okay. And Brisker's the one, it looks like, who jarred the ball loose, put his helmet right on the ball and knocked it loose. And Brisker's turning out to have a pretty decent afternoon so far. Both
teams have certainly put the ball on the carpet a good bit today. Gateway with 2 fumbles lost. Woodland Hills with 2 fumbles lost as well. Gateway has also thrown an interception in today's football game. First and 10 for the Gators. The ball at the Woodland Hills 25. And a flag flies. Delay of game against Gateway as they took an awful long time at the line of scrimmage after coming straight from the sideline to that line of scrimmage.
And that kind of baffles my mind considering they went right from the line of scrimmage to, right from the huddle sideline to the line of scrimmage. And they've been running the no huddle after that pretty much the entire game.
And a nice ball fake there by the QB Walker, and he will complete the pass down the middle to Jaquan Brisker, and they'll say Brisker is able to get the ball across the goal line for a Gateway touchdown, covering 30 yards, and Brisker is not able to get to his feet after scoring that Gateway TD.
And it was a great ball fake by Walker. Did a great job of really holding the linebackers in secondary of Woodland Hills, and then Brisker just had an inside track to the football. Did a great job, second, third effort as he was being brought down to stretch across the goal line for the touchdown.
Second touchdown today for Jaquan Brisker, as he was writhing for a good bit after being brought down after scoring that touchdown. Good news is he's on his feet and jogging to the nearest sidelines. If you're a Gators fan watching on Monroeville Comcast Cable Channel 13 or on Verizon Fios Channel 37 during the replay, be comforted in knowing that the young man Brisker was able to get back to his feet. And Freddie, as we take a look at this TV replay, at least from our vantage point, it certainly doesn't seem like Brisker had scored before being downed, with the ball right around the 1 yard line with his knee down.
It looked like his knee was down at probably around the 2.
Right, and the ball at the 1.
Yep.
So the Gators are going to go for 2 here with a 10-point deficit. Walker in the shotgun, sidecar right. Walker's going to run to his right. Feels the pressure as the flag flies in. He'll throw back to the left-hand side where it's caught by Matthew Alfaro. But we have to check on this penalty before we credit Gateway with the 2 points. And it's an illegal shift against the Gateway Gators. That is going to cost them the 2-point conversion, at least on the first attempt. And they're going to have to go for it again here out at the 8 yard line. Again, a 10-point lead for Woodland Hills, 24-14. As the Gators this time are going to bring on the PAT unit. As the left-footed kicker, Jordan Washington, comes out for the 25-yard point after touchdown, and he splits the uprights and buries it over the Woodland Hills band to our right-hand side. 9-point lead for Woodland Hills, 24-15. Here in the third quarter, you're tuned into the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Anthony Perkins, the ball carrier, stopped by Ryan Cleveland, number 55 for the Gators.
Woodland Hills facing a 3rd down and 12 with the football at their own 20-yard line. Wolverines holding a 9-point lead over the Gateway Gators. Gateway scoring on a couple of big plays by Jaquan Brisker, while the Wolverines have been powered by Saeed Holt in all 3 phases of the game. Whitehurst in the pistol. He's going to hand off to Holt coming on the end around. Tries to find a crease, but will get back to the line of scrimmage and no further. And the punt unit's going to have to come on for the Wolverines.
Yeah, I thought Coach Novak might have used that timeout to set up a pass play, but decided to go with a reverse with Saeed Holt and just nothing going, nothing doing for the Wolverines on that right side.
Whitehurst on to punt it away. He has had some beauties thus far tonight in the punting game. Brisker back deep to return for Gateway. Low snap by McAllister, but Whitehurst gets a hold of it. They'll boom it away, and it'll take one hop into the hands of Brisker, who's going to run from left to right and then back to the left-hand side, and there goes Brisker, and he can run all day if he'd like. He fumbled the football, though. Out of bounds it will go. It'll be Gateway football down near the 10, but there's a flag way back inside of the 40-yard line, so all of that run is coming back.
Yeah, I was going to say, because great job by Brisker. Actually, great job by the entire Gateway special teams punt return team setting up a nice wall, but again, all for naught because of the flag.
We have seen some great returns by the Gators today, and Coach Novak in the pregame show talked about the athletic ability of the skilled guys for Gateway, and it has shown brightly at times today for the Gateway Gators. They have made some mistakes, and the Wolverines have taken advantage.
Yeah, that's one thing Gateway has never been lacking is skilled players, and especially skilled players with speed. Even in their thinner years, like as of last year. They've always had tremendous speed on both sides of the ball.
Speaking of thinner years, as we look along the near sideline, Fred, this Gateway team is by far one of the most populous teams we have seen in a long time for Gateway. As Gateway dipped from Quad A to AAA a season ago, their numbers on the football team were waning significantly, but I do believe that the addition of Don Hall, the new head coach for Gateway, has inspired a renewal in the football pride here at Gateway.
Yeah, and I think the expectations when they had Tom Nola, who had come from Clareton, had built such a successful program at Clareton. When he came to Gateway, they were probably anticipating the same amount of expectations and achievements, but kind of fell short. But Coach Hall has did a great job at Seneca Valley and can bring a lot of excitement to a program.
Brought down in the backfield is the quarterback, Brady Walker. 6-yard loss on the play, maybe a 5-yard loss, and a flag is down as well as it came in by the umpire. This is going to go against Woodland Hills.
I think it might be face mask.
And that is exactly what it was. Face mask a couple yards deep in the backfield. Actually 5 yards deep in the backfield, and will be just enough for a first down for Gateway, pushing the ball out to the 38-yard line. Walker shotgun. Hard count, and flags fly in. Woodland Hills had reached the neutral zone, but did Gateway move as well? We'll see what the fellows in the stripes have to say. It's a false start against Gateway. That'll cost them 5 yards, back from the 38 to the 33. Now they're going to say it's encroachment against Woodland Hills. So the officials initially said false start against Gateway, and now they're going to say encroachment against the Wolverines. And we see our first gem by the officials here in the 2016 season. 1st and 5 for Gateway. The ball with the Gators' 43-yard line. Trips to the right of the formation. And Walker's going to hand off. Dancing in the backfield is the ball carrier, Rashawn Ruffin, and his patience pays off as he's able to pick up about 4.5 yards, and that'll bring up second and very short for Gateway.
Tackle made by number 50, Joshua Berger, who initially had some contact in the backfield, but was able to stick with the play and make a tackle.
Now they're going to give him credit of 5 yards, even though the initial spot was just past the 47-yard line. So give him a gain of 5, and 20 yards in total now for Rashawn Ruffin. Power pistol. And hand off to Ruffin. Slides through one tackle, drives his way forward through another. Go across the 50 to the 49-yard line. A pickup of 3, and that'll bring up second down and 7.
I like the way that Ruffin is shaking off initial contact by the Wolverines, and he keeps his feet moving. Woodland Hills is doing a great job of actually bottling him up and not letting him get more yardage based off of those initial contacts and missed tackles.
5.5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Gateway driving with football, second down and about 6 is again Ruffin, the ball carrier. He'll be brought down at the 45-yard line after picking up a gain of 4, maybe 3.5, and it's third down and a very manageable 3.
Gateway's offensive line just found some new life in this second half, because they're doing a great job of just really putting it to the front 7 of the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
Michael Coleman, slow to get to his feet, seems to be cramping up here along the near hash. Coleman, DB, 5'11", 162, a sophomore who had a huge interception and a big return back in quarter number 2 that led to a Saeed Holt touchdown to put Woodland Hills up on top, 17-0. In all honesty, Fred, I cannot remember a night where we have seen this much cramping up. I mean, this has been as hot as it's been for a first game in a very long time.
Yeah, the first 2 or 3 games you're going to have that, especially late August, early September. It still really hasn't hit in that fall stride yet. I mean, I can recall a game where people were cramping pretty bad. The first game that I actually ever did against when Woodland Hills played Thomas Jefferson at the Wolverina. I was sweating buckets.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I'm sure those guys were cramping as well.
Yeah, that was a pretty hot day. That was up there with this as some of the hottest games that we've seen since we started broadcasting. That day at Upper St. Clair sticks out as well. A couple years back where it was very, very hot. Well, Fred, before the game, we just kind of mention in passing that Woodland Hills hasn't played Gateway since 2012. None of these guys on either side of the field were on the field for that football game. Even if they were freshman reserves, they couldn't have been there. So, things have certainly changed over the years as Woodland Hills and Gateway, the old rivalry from our days, certainly isn't as fierce as it is today, or was back then.
No, when you take that much time off between when the heat of the rivalry was, and then Gateway going to the Quad A Foothills Conference, Woodland Hills bouncing between the east, the south, the southwest, it kind of takes away from it. But I'm hoping, with them both being in 5A, even though it's non-conference, it'll be a yearly thing.
I do too. I think that this would be a great season opener each and every year if this option continues to be available for these teams, for them to each and every year continue to play. This game next year at the Wolverines, 2 years back here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Third down and 3 for the Gateway Gators. Line to gain is the 42-yard line. Ball at the 45 of the Wolverines. Walker looking left, throwing left, completing the pass along that far boundary as they have certainly found some rhythm in the passing game. Ahmad Wilson with the catch there. And they'll say Wilson steps out inside of the 40 at the 37-yard line. He'll pick up on that play of 6 yards.
And it looks like Nazir Taylor just hobbled off to the sideline with a bout of cramps.
And Fred, to start off the football game, Brady Walker certainly did not show any passing prowess, but he has completed 5 straight passes for 69 yards and a touchdown. And the ball came loose. And a pile up for it. And the Gators come out of there with it as the ball carrier, I think, was roughing yet again.
Yeah, and Adam, sometimes that's going to take a couple of plays, maybe a half, to get your bearings about you. I mean, it's a new season. You got some newer players, working with some newer receivers, so it's going to take some time.
Walker, shotgun sidecars to either side. The ball comes loose yet again, and Walker will basically fall down in the backfield. A loss of 2 for the Gators. And boy, Gateway certainly has had a case of fumbleitis. It hasn't bitten them every time they put the ball on the carpet, but they have certainly put it down on the rug their fair share this evening.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened there. Maybe it was the fake. I don't know if he was looking to actually give the ball to Ruffin or fake it, but I mean, it's certainly been some sloppy ball handling on both sides.
Third down and 15 for Gateway as Walker is in the shotgun with a sidecar to his left and a fullback in front of him to the left. And Walker's going to step up into the pocket, throwing left, and a jump ball, and it's broken up. Nice defensive play over there by Jawan Hill for the Wolverines.
Yeah, Hill did a great job, and it looks like the intended target was number 21, Ahmad Wilson, who's been very active in this ball game. But Hill was with him step for step and batted that ball to the turf.
The first incompletion in quite a while for Gateway, and that incomplete pass brings up 4th down and 15 for the Gators. Clock stopped here with 3:34 to play in the third frame. Woodland Hills on top of Gateway, 24-15 here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Quick kick by Walker, and this will bounce and slide through the hands of a Woodland Hills sophomore, Michael Coleman. I think Coleman was ill-advised for going up and touching that football at all. And fortunately for him and the Wolverines, the ball rolled out of bounds along the near boundary at the 21.
Coleman might not even known that it was punted.
That's possible.
It looked like, everything they were in, Gateway was in their traditional offensive formation, and then Walker took it and punted, and I'm assuming Coleman didn't realize that was the case.
Yeah, if that is the case, that seems very valid to go up and try to catch that ball if you're attempting at an interception and not knowing it was a punt.
Nobody screamed the magic word. Peter.
First and 10 for Woodland Hills. Ball at their own 21-yard line. Woodland Hills offense has been rather lackluster here in the second half after spurts of magic in the first. Sidecars to either side of Daniel Jones, who has seen his fair share of action at quarterback today, and he will hand off to Saeed Holt, who has shown the brightest for the visiting Wolverines, and Holt will drive and dance and pick up a couple of yards, maybe 4 up to the 25, where it'll bring up second down and 6.
And Saeed Holt, again, just doing a great job of waiting for things to happen. But it looks like there's a flag on the field, holding by the Wolverines.
So the hold against Woodland Hills will negate what was a nice run by Holt. So instead of second down and 6, it's going to be first down with a line to gain of the 31-yard line. It's going to be first and 17.
First and 16, 17 for the Wolverines.
Daniel Jones, the QB. He'll set in the shotgun with sidecars to either side. Handoff on the counter. Running from right to left goes Jawan Hill, spinning across the 35. First down and more for the Wolverines.
Very nice run by Hill, but it looks like he's slow to get up, maybe cramping again, but he just did a great job of really seeing the open field, cutting back when he needed to, and picking up a first down for Woodland Hills.
23-yard gain for Jawan Hill, his biggest carry of the game, and he now has 53 yards in total. He and Saeed Holt have now combined to eclipse the century mark on the ground. First and 10 for the Wolverines. The ball at the 37. Clock winding here in the latter stages of the third quarter. Woodland Hills on top of Gateway 24-15. I'm Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. And Woodland Hills going to have to burn a timeout as some misalignment by Devin Garrison will cost the Wolverines a stoppage. And we'll step away 2. Again, it's Woodland Hills 24, Gateway 15. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. Visit us at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com for links to all of our broadcasts throughout the season, as well as archived broadcasts from years gone by. Adam Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you as Woodland Hills leads Gateway 24-15. 2:24 to play in quarter number 3. And the handoff will go to Rodney Denard, who spins his way up towards the 40-yard line. They'll say he's down at the 39, so a gain of 2 for Denard. And cooler heads prevail after some jawing goes on far away from the football.
That's the last thing the Woodland Hills Wolverines need right now after putting together a solid drive, is to back them up 15 yards with a unsportsmanlike penalty call.
Second down and 8 for the Wolverines. Daniel Jones, 5'11" junior quarterback. He's seen about an equal action to Whitehurst, though Whitehurst got the start today. Trips to the right of the formation. One receiver to the near side left. Jones stiff arms as he runs to his right-hand side. He's going to throw it out there to the right-hand side. The pass complete to Asheed Page Jones. It's a Woody High first down. And great field awareness there, Freddie, by Daniel Jones to not cross the line of scrimmage before throwing that football.
Yeah, he threw it like a centimeter behind the line of scrimmage and did a great job to find Page Jones. But it looks like Page Jones, again, hobbling off with cramps.
So from the 44 to the 38, 18-yard pass completion, the first completion of the game for Daniel Jones. And Whitehurst returns at quarterback as Jones was shaken up on that last play as well. High snap, but Whitehurst able to corral it and hand off to Rodney Denard, who drives his way inside of the 35 to the 34-yard line, a pickup of about 4 there for the ball carrier Denard. Brisker on the tackle for the Gateway Gators as there's less than a minute to play here in the third frame. Woodland Hills on top by 9 over the Gateway Gators.
Yeah, good job of Mikey Whitehurst to climb the ladder, so to speak, to bring that snap down and then deliver and then get it to Denard to pick up a nice pickup on first down.
Whitehurst in shotgun, hands off. Saeed Holt runs from left to right. He'll cross the line of scrimmage, picking up about a yard from the 34 to the 33-yard line. And Holt is slow to get up. Boy, I'll tell you what, these cramps have really stricken the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
And, you know, surprisingly, it's the skill position players that are going down with the cramps. It seems like the offensive linemen have stayed pretty much intact the entire game.
So Holt being tended to. Let's hope this is just another cramp for the Woodland Hills star two-way player who's really shown brightly today for the Wolverines. 56 yards in total on the ground for Saeed Holt to go along with a couple of touchdowns, one offensively, one defensively. He also blocked a punt that led to a Woodland Hills touchdown. Holt being tended to by athletic trainer Denny D'Amico, and our physical therapist here at Woodland Hills is Joe Schaffo. Hot night here in the eastern suburbs of Pittsburgh. Anna Marino Stadium, the home of the Gateway Gators. And Holt back to his feet yet again as he tries to gallop off a bit of another calf cramp. 3rd and 5 for Woodland Hills. The football is at the 33-yard line. Line to gain is the 28.
And this might be a situation where, because these guys are cramping so much, that you might start thinking about digging into your bench a little bit and see what they can come up with.
Clock winding here in 3, 2, 1, and that'll be the final whistle of quarter number 3. We will head to the 4th frame. Woodland Hills holding a 9-point lead over the Gateway Gators, 24-15. Adam Gusky and Fred Guy on the call for you right here on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. 24-15. Woodland Hills on top of Gateway as we are set to begin the 4th quarter here in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Talked about it before. Anna Marino Stadium, home of the Gateway Gators, named after Pete Anna Marino, longtime head coach for Gateway. Handoff will go to tailback Rodney Denard, and he will drive his way down to the 30-yard line where it's 4th down and 2. Pickup of 3 for Denard. Started to get his legs under him a good bit here in the second half.
So now it's decision time for Coach Novak and the Wolverines. And it looks like they're going to keep their offense on the field.
Michael Whitehurst out there finishing up this drive after Daniel Jones got it started but got shaken up after completing a pass out to the right-hand side to Rashid Page Jones. Whitehurst sidecars to either side as he will hand off to Saeed Holt, who has the first down and more. He'll spring free, 15, 10, 5, end zone, touchdown, Woodland Hills. A 30-yard touchdown run for Saeed Holt.
And that was just a great job by the offensive line. Really pushing. I think Gateway's defensive line's getting a little tired. Nice hole that was opened up by the offensive line, and Saeed Holt, feeling no ill effects from the cramps that he just had, just marched right into the end zone.
3rd touchdown of the game for Saeed Holt, 2nd offensively, as he now has 86 yards rushing thus far. Woodland Hills on top, 30-15. Coach Novak appears to want to keep the offense out on the field and extend the lead to 17 points with a 2-point conversion. Pistol formation. And Whitehurst, he's going to roll to his left. He's going to throw to his left, and the pass is tipped and incomplete. It was in the hands of Nazir Taylor, but as he fell down, he wasn't able to hang on to the pass. There's a flag down as well. If it's against Woodland Hills, the Gators will decline, and that is the case. So Gateway declines the penalty, and Woodland Hills will have to be satisfied with a 15-point advantage early here in quarter number 4. Again, it's Woodland Hills 30, Gateway 15. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. .11:08 to play in quarter number 4. Woodland Hills leading Gateway by 15 points, 30-15. Adam Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you here on the MSA Sports Network. Kicking off for Woodland Hills will be Charles Hanchett. And Fred, we can't overemphasize how good Charles Hanchett has been kicking for Woodland Hills today. A sophomore in his first varsity performance. Came out, kicked a 20-yard field goal, and he's perfect 3 for 3. And extra points as well.
Yeah, has done a great job so far of just putting points on the board for the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
Another nice return for the Gateway Gators, but some of this will be negated as Jaquan Brisker is brought down across the 35 out towards the 38-yard line, but a flag flew from the referee showing his arm as he caught a Gator with a hand in the cookie jar. This will back Gateway up from the 32, 10 yards to the 22, where they will start their first drive of the fourth quarter.
Against the Gators, we'll move the ball back to the 22-yard line, where the Gators will start first and 10.
So first and 10 for Gateway with the football at their own 22-yard line as they head right to left across your internet browser or television screen. Stepping forward is Walker, and he is hit as he releases the football. It looked like Holt may have had a strip sack there, but the officials say it will be an incomplete pass instead, and that will bring up a second down and 10.
Great job of the Woodland Hills defense of just bringing a lot of pressure. The same pressure that they brought in the first half and they seem to gotten away from has definitely come back in the fourth quarter.
Well, I think there is some discussion here. Was it a fumble? And if it was a fumble, the inadvertent whistle would give Woodland Hills the ball at the 22-yard line.
It doesn't even matter if it was a fumble. It is an actual interception because it was knocked in the air by Saeed Holt, and one of the Woodland Hills Wolverines looks like he picked it up right out of midair.
Good eye by you, Freddie, and even more so, great catch by our television crew.
Jalene Holloway.
Now, the Woodland Hills coaching staff is out on the field. They are claiming that they saw the same thing you saw on that TV replay. And an inadvertent whistle here is basically going to cause a replay of first down. It's first and 10 yet again for Gateway at the 22. Another officiating gem. Running to the near side left, the pass intended for Brisker. As Walker put it right in his breadbasket, but Brisker couldn't hang on. And the second straight incompletion after 5 straight completions for Walker.
Was that an actual pitch or a forward?
It was a forward.
Oh, okay.
The incomplete pass brings up second and 10. Clock stopped here in the early goings in quarter number 4. Snap sails over the head of Walker. He has to retreat. He lost the football. Into the end zone it'll go, where it's scooped up by Dylan Urban. Urban able to squeak through a couple of Woodland Hills tacklers. Still on his feet as he will bring the ball out to the 25-yard line. And how about that for the Gateway Gators? Dylan Urban was able to turn what could have been a Woodland Hills touchdown or perhaps a safety into a 3-yard gain for the Gateway Gators.
That's impressive by the Gateway Gators to presence of mind to pick the ball up and saw that there was just nobody in front of him, was able to hit around the right side of the field and break some nice tackles.
Clock winding here in quarter number 4. Woodland Hills on top of Gateway, 30-15. All at the 25. As the throw to the near side left completed to Brisker, and Brisker will cross the 30-yard line and will be brought down right near the first down flag. And it is just enough for a Gateway first down to pick up of 7 on that pass completion to Brisker, his 4th catch of the game.
Looks like it was just a little wide receiver screen to Brisker, but did a great job of breaking some tackles and picking up the first down.
And Walker on the pump and go got hit as he went for the first pump. Credit the sack to Teron Best, and then another Wolverine came in to clean it up. That was Michael Lucas.
Good job of the Wolverine coaching staff to start subbing in some players, some fresh bodies to give these skilled guys that have been cramping up a little bit of a break.
Scoring update from the Superdome in New Orleans. Woodland, or rather the Pittsburgh Steelers leading the New Orleans Saints 21-7. Ben Roethlisberger's first preseason appearance. Straight drop back as Walker looks to the right-hand side. He cannot find Rashawn Ruffin as they were setting up the screen there, and the incomplete pass brings up 3rd down and about 13. Make it 3rd down and 18.
And again, Saeed Holt on a little bit of a blitz. Really ran through the guard and was putting pressure on Walker before he got it away.
Twins to either side. Walker in the shotgun off of play action. Looks to his right, throws to his right, and the pass is intercepted by the Wolverines. On the pick is Jay Smith. And Jay Smith will be brought down inside of the 5 at around the 2-yard line. A near pick 6 for the Woodland Hills reserve D-back, and the sophomore comes up big.
Yeah, and that was just an overthrow by Walker. I wouldn't say he was wide open, his receiver in the flat, but definitely if he put it on the spot to number 9, Courtney Jackson, that would have been caught. But it was just an overthrow, and Jay Smith right there for the interception.
So Woodland Hills first and goal at the 1-yard line as Jay Smith had a very nice interception return covering about 42 yards as he picked that off around the 43.
Looks like Jones is coming back into the ballgame.
Well, that's good news for Woodland Hills fans. Nobody has locked down the starting quarterback spot just yet. And Jones able to come back out there after being shaken up, and he will hand off. The ball carrier running from left to right is Jawan Hill. He'll absorb contact, then drive his way across the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown.
Yeah, I thought Jawan Hill might try to take it all the way to the pylon, but saw there was a little bit of a crease in the Gateway defense, and he just put his shoulders down, put his helmet down, and got across the goal line for the touchdown.
Woodland Hills extending their lead to 21 points right now, 36-15. PAT on the way. Charles Hanchett will step out there. The holder is Whitehurst. The long snapper continues to be the center, Michael McAllister. Good snap, good hold, kick up, kick good for Hanchett, and Woodland Hills extends their lead to 22 points over the Gateway Gators, 37-15. It's the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Bryce Washington recovered that kick for the Gators. The Gators ball, first and 10 now from their own 36-yard line. Move the ball back to the 31-yard line. It'll be first and 25 for the Gators. Pass from Bradley Walker intended for Jaquan Brister. Goes incomplete over the middle. Second and 25 for the Gators.
Was able to stymie that with some timely plays, and the lead right now at 22 points, 37 to 15 is the lead for Woody High with 8:34 to play in regulation.
And just before Caraway went down, it looked like Gateway was in a 5-wide formation, trying to take advantage of the cramps by the Woodland Hills Wolverines and using their speed.
So Derek Caraway back to his feet and off to the sideline he goes. Couple of subs in there along the defensive front right now for Woodland Hills. We did see Michael McAllister get the start along that defensive line, but also in there now is Joshua Berger and Austin Balashak. Shotgun sidecar to the right, trips to the right of the formation, snap high, but Walker corrals. Walker steps up into the pocket, looks to the near side right, completes the pass on the reception. Stephon Chapman, and Chapman will bring the ball up to the 35-yard line, but no further. Gain of 4 on the play as Michael McAllister is slow to get to his feet as he is grasping at his left calf. And Fred, earlier on, you said the linemen were not feeling the ill effects of the heat. If this is a cramp, which we hope it is, this is the first big guy we've seen go down on either side.
Actually, you have number 13, Damian Thomas, also down with cramps as well. Well, what appears to be cramps.
Yeah,
I hate to speculate. But to McAllister's credit, he has been playing a lot of offensive line too. So
right. So a couple of injured Wolverines. So the training staff is getting the extra duty tonight. They want to get Coach D'Amico and Joe Schaffo a couple of bananas and some Gatorade after this football game so they don't cramp up either.
Yeah, and the Water Boys might be cramping up by the end of this game too.
That's true. That is very true. We'll take this opportunity with a couple of players down to step away one last time. It's Woodland Hills on top of Gateway by 22 points. 37-15. It's the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. A couple of Wolverines shaken up. Michael McAllister hobbled with cramps, able to get off the field and head to the sidelines. And we see defensive back Damian Thomas, also slow to get to his feet, listed as a linebacker, but rather slender for that position at 6 feet 189. But we see the same thing with Seed Holtfred. He's another slender linebacker, but certainly gets the position played very well at his 6 feet tall and less than 200 pounds.
Yeah, but he actually, what he does is he comes off the line of scrimmage blazing, right to the quarterback, bowls through offensive linemen, running backs, whatever he has to do to get to the quarterback.
Damian Thomas to his feet, and he's got quite the hitch in his giddy-up as he will hobble his way to the far sideline. 4th and long for the Gateway Gators. Line to gain is the Woodland Hills 44-yard line. They currently have the ball at the 35-yard line of the Gators. So the punt unit is on for Gateway, Jordan Washington, the punter for the Gators. Return man appears to be Rodney Denard, and that's who it is for the Wolverines. Washington gets the punt away, high end over end kick. Takes a bounce to the near sideline. Just inside of the 45 at the 43-yard line. Will be first down and 10 for the Wolverines. Well, Fred, it was a pretty exciting third quarter, to say the least. Gateway really started to try to mount a comeback against the Wolverines, but they made some mistakes. Woodland Hills capitalized, and the Wolverines able to, kind of put this one away here in quarter number 4. Now, I'll grant you there's still 8 minutes to play, But, the game has slowed down a good bit, and it seems like at this point both teams are just content to try to get this football game over with.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Gateway still has a little bit more fight left in them in this game. So if I were the Wolverines, I wouldn't really take this series very lightly.
Whitehurst, the quarterback, sidecars to either side. Handoff will go to new running back Jaquan Smith. Listed as a wide receiver, but takes the carry that time for a loss of a couple back to the, a loss of a handful back to the 39-yard line.
I think the center on that last play was Josh Berger, which might explain why the snap was a little bit high for Mikey Whitehurst, but it was able to get it down and get it to Smith.
At center now is McAllister. Good snap by McAllister as Whitehurst is pressured. He'll run to his left. Going to throw on the run, and the pass is incomplete. Nice job there by Whitehurst to feel the pressure, throw the ball incomplete innocuously to the sideline. That's something he didn't do earlier in the game. Took a sack for a big loss.
Yeah, and I think that was probably because his dad, Coach Whitehurst, probably got into his ear after the first one and said, "Well, be a little bit smarter about how you handle those situations," and he did a great job in that case.
Whitehurst 2 of 6 today for 62 yards, including a 66-yard pass completion to Avram Abramovitz. Whitehurst in the shotgun. Sidecars to either side, receivers to either side as well. Tight end to the left of the formation. Whitehurst runs left, steps up, throws. Pass high, intended for Derek Caraway and incomplete. That'll bring up fourth down, and the punt unit comes on.
A little high out at the 47-yard line.
And again, Caraway appears to be down with cramps, and that was just, that took place because he tried to jump, and those calves are really weak right now due to lack of hydration.
Whitehurst on to punt, and we talked about it a couple of times today, how Whitehurst has been able to turn field position around with some great punts for the Wolverines. Let's see if he can get one here as well.
Well, the one thing he might want to do is keep the ball away from Brisker.
Brisker has certainly been the best offensive weapon for the Gateway Gators. As Whitehurst gets underneath this one, a high kick that will bounce the 40-yard line, and the official will say that it went out of bounds straight at the 40. So it'll be first down and 10 for Gateway, 60 yards away from pay dirt. And if the Gators want to try to mount a comeback, they've got to get something going offensively here.
Yeah, now's the time, especially with the way the skill position players for the Wolverines seem to be cramping on almost every play. You got to try to take advantage of that, especially if they're hobbled in the game. Try to get something past them and get into the end zone.
Again, don't forget Woodland Hills takes on the Baldwin Highlanders next Friday night. Kickoff at 7 from the Wolverine. And Fred Guy and I will have the call for you all across the Woodland Hills Football Network. MSA Sports pregame show starts 25 minutes before kick at 6:35. Walker looking left the whole way. The pass is complete on the reception. Ahmad Wilson. Wilson steps out of bounds inside of the Woodland Hills side of the 50 to the 48-yard line.
Wilson was covered by number 22, Michael Coleman, who I don't think he saw Wilson come out of his break and come back to the quarterback. Wilson did a great job of just shedding his defender and picking up a first down.
Walker now with 88 yards in the air with that pass completion. Walker looking left, another completion. This time complete to Dylan Urban, the running back, who will drive his way forward to pick up a couple 3 yards. And it is second down and 7.
Yeah,
Austin Balashak on the tackle for Woodland Hills.
Balashak's he's done a pretty good job so far in the limited action that he's got, and he's really putting some pressure on the quarterback and then peeling off and making tackles.
Walker looking right, throwing right. The pass caught, and Stephon Chapman is doing his best to drive his way forward and pick up a couple of yards for the Gateway Gators after a bit of dancing. He'll carry it down to the 43-yard line before flags fly. And it's holding against Gateway, and that'll push them back 10 yards from the 45-yard line of the Wolverines back to the 45-yard line of the Gators. And it will stay second down.
I think that holding call is going to be on number 2, Harvey Hicks, who was just trying to do his job on the outside, but got caught probably grabbing the jersey.
Twins to either side. Walker straight drop back, looking left. Feels some pressure. Now he'll step up, eluding another tackler. Up inside of Woodland Hills territory, down to the 46-yard line, and a nice pickup of about 9 yards there for Walker, who finally gets himself back into positive territory rushing with that 9-yard pickup.
Good job by Woodland Hills in the secondary of keeping all of the wide receivers for Gateway wrapped up, but Walker did a great job of just seeing that there was nothing downfield, broke a few tackles, won by a defensive lineman, and was able to pick up nice yardage.
Walker's pass complete to the near side. Dylan Urban on the reception for Gateway, and he will drive his way down to the 41-yard line, brought down 3 yards shy of the first down flag, and it's 4th and 3 for Gateway.
And I'm surprised they're going no huddle on a fourth down play this late in the ballgame.
Trips right for Walker, one receiver to the near side left and a sidecar to his left in Urban. Walker's going to run the option to the near side left. He'll step towards the line of scrimmage, and he'll be hauled down after picking up maybe a half a yard. Down at the bottom of that pile is Quintel Palmer for the Wolverines. Also in on the tackle for Woody High is Damian R. Thomas. So a couple of Damian Thomases on the team for Woodland Hills.
And
Damian T and Damian R.
I was looking at the official across the way, and I saw him going towards the first down marker, and then he abruptly went back to the line of scrimmage.
So no gain on that run by Walker officially. And a turnover on downs gives Woodland Hills the football. 5:04 to play in regulation. First and 10 at their own 41. Snap sails well over the head of Jones. Wolverines forced to retreat to try to pick it up, but instead Gateway will fall on the football. Seed Holt with the, or rather not Seed Holt, Jaquan Brisker with a fumble recovery for Gateway.
And that was just a really bad snap by Mike McAllister. Rodney Denard probably thinking that there was nobody behind him, was going to try to pick it up and try to make something out of nothing, but good job by the Gateway defense to just fall on the ball and start their drive deep in Wolverine territory.
26-yard loss on that bad snap. And Gateway will get the football at the Woody High 15. 4:57 to play. Walker looking left the whole way. He's going to throw left into the end zone. It's tipped and will fall to the carpet incomplete. Nice coverage down there by a Wolverine D-back.
It was Michael Coleman, number 22, did a great job just going step for step with Brisker, who's been Walker's hot target in the second half.
Yeah, Michael Coleman has done a very good job in the secondary for Woodland Hills. Just a sophomore, but he has certainly made his presence felt today. This pass complete to the near sideline. Brisker on the reception from Walker. Tackle by Coleman. Gain on that play of 13 yards, and it's 1st and goal for Gateway.
Yeah, this was just a stop route by Brisker, who did a great job of shedding Coleman, and then Coleman did a great job of holding on to his ankles and making sure he couldn't stretch the ball over the goal line for a touchdown.
Walker finally eclipsing the century mark in the air with that completed pass to Brisker. This time he will hand off. The ball carrier is Ruffin, and Ruffin will get to the line of scrimmage, maybe pick up a yard before being driven to the turf.
I don't know if Ruffin had the ball.
He didn't. It was actually
Walker kept it.
Yeah, Walker pulled it out of the belly of Rashawn Ruffin. Everybody in the stadium was faked out. Then finally I saw the ball kind of thrown out by quarterback Brady Walker. So Walker with a 1-yard loss on the play. Walker shotgun. Option to the right, fakes the pitch, and he will cross the goal line for a Gateway touchdown.
Yeah, again, I just don't think Woodland Hills is prepared for the option by Gateway. They probably haven't seen it on any film, and Gateway's done a great job so far in this game using it.
4:08 to play in the 4th quarter. Gateway cutting the Woodland Hills lead down to 16 points. Gators keeping the offense out there, trying to cut the lead down to 14 with a 2-point conversion attempt. Walker looking right, throwing right. The pass in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Courtney Jackson, I believe, was the intended target over there on that far sideline, and the incomplete pass, to Harvey Hicks. And the 2-point conversion attempt fails, and Woodland Hills maintains a lead of 16 points. It's Woodland Hills 37, Gateway 21. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. (37-21), Woodland Hills leads Gateway, but the Gators striking most recently on a 4-yard touchdown run by quarterback Brady Walker. 2-point conversion attempt fails, and Woodland Hills maintaining a comfortable 16-point lead, 37-21 here at Gateway as we kick off the 2016 season. Maiden voyage for both of these teams in 5A. Gateway bumping up from AAA to 5A. Woodland Hills from Quad A to 5A. And of course, the biggest schools last year in Quad A are now in the 6A classification. Gateway going to go for an onside kick here with Jordan Washington setting in such a fashion. Takes a very nice hop, but it's grabbed out of the air by Nazir Taylor. And the Wolverines will have the ball with a very good field position at their own 46-yard line. And Taylor paid the price, but Fred, good hands there.
Yeah, ice water.
Woodland Hills up, man.
Ice water in the veins too, and you have 5 people bearing down on you. And he really didn't have anybody in front of him to block for him. Just good concentration, nice hands, and held on to the football.
4:06 to play. Woodland Hills with a 16-point lead. They have the football. 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Wolverines from their own 46.
Jones, the quarterback, yet again for Woodland Hills. He will hand off, and the ball carrier for Woodland Hills is Jaquan Smith, and Smith will ramble his way inside of the 50 to the 48-yard line, a pickup of 6 yards, and it's 2nd down and a manageable 4.
Hey, good ankle tackle by one of the Gateway Gators, because if not, Jaquan Smith was really moving through the offensive line and saw a nice little cutback and had a seam. Just trying to see who the defender was for Gateway, but I was unable to, but just did a great job of using his vision and finding the cutback lane.
Daniel Jones, the QB. Broken play. He's going to tuck and run himself. Gets back to the line of scrimmage before being driven back by a host of black jerseys. They'll actually say maybe a loss of 1 on the play, and a timeout is called. I think Gateway is going to use one of their timeouts after that loss of 1. So a stoppage on the field will step away 2. It's Woodland Hills 37, Gateway 21. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. $16-point lead for Woody High. 3:04 to play in regulation. Wolverines leading 37-21. Adam Gusky, Fred Guy on the call for you.
Wolverines in the 3rd down and 5, just inside at the Gateway 49-yard line.
Jones, power pistol, he'll hand off. The ball carrier is Rodney Denard. He will drive his way down to the 47-yard line where Gateway will use another timeout. On 4th down and 3, Woodland Hills will probably send out the punt unit, but we'll take the opportunity to burn through a couple of more spots. Tune in to the Wolverines and the Gators on MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. $16-point lead for Woodland Hills, 37-21. 3:05 to play here in quarter number 4. Gateway burning through some timeouts. Trying to build off of a recent touchdown run by their quarterback Brady Walker. Michael Whitehurst on to punt it away for the Wolverines on 4th down and 3. Whitehurst spiraling punt. That will carry to the far sideline out of bounds, and this will depend on where the official spots it. They'll say that this ball went out at the 35-yard line. So the Gateway Gators 65 yards away from making this an even closer football game right now. A very comfortable 16-point lead for the Wolverines with 2:58 to play, but if Gateway scores quickly, that comfort certainly goes away.
Absolutely, Adam. And Gateway seems like they have a quick strike ability. They really haven't possessed it or done anything with it today, but you know, anything could happen at any point.
Don't forget, folks, on MSA Sports, stay tuned for the State Senator Jay Costa post-game show. And if you are so inclined, you can always flip over after that to the MSA Sports scoreboard show, both on the web and on terrestrial radio throughout Western PA. Looking to the near side left, Walker's pass is complete to Jaquan Brisker, and Brisker wrestled out of bounds by a pair of Wolverines, and a flag is down in the Gators' backfield, and that in all likelihood will negate a nice first down for the Gateway Gators, a pickup of 12, all for naught. Oh, Fred, it is now 13 minutes after 10 o'clock, kickoff a couple of minutes after 7. So we have played a solid 3-hour football game here, and that is a very, very long night for a couple of teams that just started strapping on the helmets and shoulder pads some 2.5 weeks ago.
Yeah, you're right, but most of the extra time has been because of the cramps that we suspect and people being down. But I think this has been a really hard-fought game by both teams. Woodland Hills has just done a little bit more on their end to put more points on the scoreboard.
Pass intended across the middle for Ahmad Wilson, incomplete, and there was Wolverine breaking towards the football that I think threw off the concentration of Wilson just enough to force that incompletion.
Yeah, it looks like it was number 10, Collins, listed at 6 foot, 196-pound senior.
Second and 23 for Gateway. The ball at their own 22. Walker straight drop back. He's pressured. He eludes that pressure. Dumps it off on the screen pass to Dylan Urban. And Urban has certainly done his fair share of running with the football for the Gateway Gators as he's finally forced out of bounds along the near boundary at the 42-yard line, and a pickup of 19 yards on that pass play.
Yeah, Walker's done a great job of eluding pressure in the second half and just found that Urban was sitting right in the middle of the field with nobody around him except his own blockers, and just did a great job of getting it to the outside.
Fourth catch of the game for Urban, 29 yards on those 4 catches. Walker looking left, throwing left. The pass is intended for Ahmad Wilson, incomplete. And that incomplete pass brings up 4th down and 8 for the Gateway Gators.
Coach Novak's doing a great job of finding players that haven't been in the ballgame very often and don't have cramping issues, like Jaquan Smith, who was on coverage on that last play.
Gateway going to go for it here on 4th and 8, last-ditch opportunity. Walker pressured, wrapped, and he will be sacked. Credit the sack to John Robinson, but there were a host of white jerseys all around Walker before he finally was brought down by Robinson.
Yeah, Woodland Hills brought the house on that last play. Just all 4 defense, or yeah, all 5 defensive linemen and linebackers just made a great push to get to Walker for the sack.
Loss of 7 on that play. Walker now with 1 yard officially offensively, and that was a turnover on downs there. So Woodland Hills will get the football yet again. After Walker is attended to. Walker down with what we hope is a cramp, though they are attending to his right leg down near the ankle. So we just hope it is a cramp for the junior QB for the Gateway Gators. Not often do we see the entire drive summary chart that I maintain here in the press box filled up, but today that is the case, as Woodland Hills will take over this drive with 2:27 to play in regulation and a 16-point advantage at the Gateway Gators 30-yard line. Most of the starting offense on the field for Woodland Hills, but we do see some substitutions at the running back spot. Late arrival by the right guard, Bryce Johnson, but he will step in, set down, and Woodland Hills is going to use a timeout, and that'll allow us to get our final break of the football game in as well. And it's Woodland Hills 37, Gateway 21. You're tuned into the Wolverines and the Gators at MSA Sports and the Woodland Hills Football Network. First and 10 for Woodland Hills. The football at the Gateway 30-yard line. 2:27 to play in regulation. Woodland Hills leading Gateway 37-21 here in the first game of the 2016 season. And officially called Week 0 because so many teams have decided not to play this week. Some teams are playing scrimmages while Wolverines playing a real game as the handoff goes to Jalen Holloway. And Holloway will pick up a handful of yards to the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I think right now Woodland Hills is pretty happy with the performance the offense, defense, and special teams have given them tonight. They're just going to run out the clock and try to put a bow on this one.
2 minutes exactly to play. Woodland Hills on top of Gateway by 16 points. Wolverines with the ball at the Gators 25. Shotgun, Whitehurst hands off. Ball carrier Holloway again. And this time he will lose about a yard. This gang of black jerseys are there to make the stop. 3rd down and 6 for the Wolverines.
You know, one of the most impressive aspects of this football game, Adam, that we've probably has gone unnoticed by us is the offensive line. I think they've done a great job pretty much the entire day. On that last play, little miscommunication by the running back, but the offensive guard and tackle, on both sides have been pulling very well, have been able to find somebody to hit and open up these holes for these running backs.
Whitehurst in the shotgun, sidecars to either side, double tight end formation. One receiver to the near side right as Whitehurst will hand off. The ball carrier this time, Jaquan Smith, who will drive his way down towards the 22-yard line, a pickup of about 4, and that brings up 4th down and about 2.
And Gateway's out of timeouts, correct?
That is correct.
So it looks like they might be just taking a knee or letting the clock, and be happy with letting the clock run out on this one.
Yeah, the officials chopped in the play clock late enough. Actually, they're not even going to chop in the play clock, as time will expire, and Woodland Hills will start off the season with a victory against their longtime rivals, the Gateway Gators, 37-21. Woodland Hills defeats Gateway. The third quarter wasn't pretty, Fred, but overall, a very good win for the Woodland Hills Wolverines.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like you said, the third quarter was a little rough for the Wolverines, especially defensively, giving up as much. Was it all 21 points?
No, they gave 14. Up one touchdown in the first half, and then everything else scored in the third quarter.
Okay. So, I mean, all in all, second half was a little shaky, but that has to do with Gateway getting some continuity on offense. But overall, the performance on offense, defense, and special teams has been superb before, a lot of these guys seeing real varsity action.
And I think the one thing that really, is clear is that Saeed Holt is going to be the linchpin for this Woodland Hills team all season long.
Yeah, and whether it be on special teams, offense, or defense, he seems to be the guy that's going to motivate the other Wolverines to make some plays and get some things done.
It was good to see a different running back make his presence felt, especially in the second half. Jawan Hill started to really get some things done offensively.
Yeah, he did a great job offensively. He also did a great job defensively as well. I mean, it seems like Denard, Hill, Holt, Caraway, all these guys are going to carry the ball as well as play defense. So, it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Novak continues to use them, whether he's just going to go with one running back, 2 running backs, or just keep the 3 or 4 players rotating.
Thoughts on the quarterback play today?
I thought it was pretty efficient. With the exception of the snaps, which isn't always the quarterback's fault. I thought Jones and Whitehurst did a great job platooning. I don't know if Coach is going to go to one quarterback throughout the course of the season or can continue to platoon like he did in this game.
Fred, thanks a lot. Great job, and a great job by all of our crew as well for our first broadcast of the season. It was really a beauty. Folks, on the television side, that'll do it for our coverage of the Woodland Hills Wolverines as they defeat the Gateway Gators by a final score of 37-21. For Fred Guy, I'm Adam Gusky. We'll talk to you again next week as the Wolverines take on the Baldwin Highlanders. For everybody at the Woodland Hills Football Network, again, we'll talk to you next week from the Wolverina.